tonight, the pressure cooker is 72,000 strong, sold out Spartan Stadium in East Lansing. Michigan State and Notre Dame. Border buddies get together. There's a lot of mutual respect between these schools, fostered in large part recently by Tyrone Willingham, the head coach, being a Michigan State alum. He knows that when you are on the other side, when you play Notre Dame, it's a game that is a measuring stick for a Spartan. And on the other side of Willingham, John L. Smith, the second-year head coach at Michigan State, who's looking to go 2-0 after the win last year in South Bend. I mentioned this rivalry, one of the most significant of the prior meetings, the 10-10 tie back in the 1960s, one of the most famous games in college football history. Notre Dame dominated in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Recently, it's been Michigan State with the better of play. Joining us tonight down on the sideline, Jill Arrington, a little fashion report on the Spartans to get it started, Jill.
Hey, that's right. Well, first of all, with their big win over Michigan, Notre Dame, Coach Willingham has said business as usual, guys. You got to stick to your same routine. We've got to take care of things here at Michigan State or else last week's victory won't mean anything. But as you see on the field, all green uniforms for Michigan State, the first time since 1994. Coach John L. Smith said the green does not belong to the Irish.
Vintage John L. Smith, guy who really built that Louisville program to the position where they are right now. A strong national team in the rankings, and took over a Michigan State team that was very thin. 8 wins last year, getting to the Alamo Bowl, losing to Nebraska there. But John L. Smith is in that second phase of rebuilding. They're not very deep right now, so it's going to take a while. But this team, I think they're going to be ready for the challenge presented tonight. Notre Dame won the toss, deferred the option to the second half, so Michigan State will receive on an absolutely ideal evening. The temperature barely touched the 70s. The first feel of fall is in the air here in mid-Michigan, and we will have the temperature going into the 60s as the night goes on. Sun sets about 7:40, so once the sun dips behind the west stands here, it'll be perfect football viewing weather. Give me a headline thought, guys, as we get ready for the game here.
I want to see if Notre Dame, as we said early in the open, if they can create the momentum early in this football game that they were able to have in the second half against Michigan. And for Michigan State, they always play with a chip on their shoulder against the Irish. Can they do that?
I think the key will be Notre Dame stopping the Michigan State run and then absolutely trying to destroy the quarterback Reeves. If they can do that, they set the tempo of this whole game.
Goya set to kick off. DeAndre Cobb back for Michigan State. Notre Dame, the Big Ten, it's Saturday night. Doesn't get any better than that. Off we go from East Lansing with Cobb from the 5. As a seam, past the kicker Goya, pushed out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Ambrose Wooden pushed him out for a nice 33-yard return. Good field position for Stephen Reeves. His dad's a quarterback. Every level of his surroundings, whether it's family or friends or high school teammate Mike Williams at USC, there's football everywhere he turns. And now he turns into the Spartans quarterback for the second consecutive start. And there is his dad, John, former Florida Gator, former college football coach. I love what Stephen told us earlier this week. I had to keep my dad calm. My dad is so nervous and uptight during the week. I'm saying, hey, Dad, just relax. I'm the one playing, not you.
You know, for a redshirt freshman, he has a little bit of swagger to him. He's a very cocky individual, and you almost need that to be able to come out and play against Notre Dame early in your career. And we talked with Michigan State's coaches. They told us early in the game, some easy throws to try to get his momentum and his confidence going, and then they're going to try to open up this offense.
And draws and screens to keep the pressure off of Reeves.
Corey Mays, the senior backup linebacker for the Irish, was injured on the kickoff return, so he comes out. Spartans start the game from their own 39. And a toss to Jason Teague. Nice run out to the 43 for the junior out of St. Petersburg, Florida. Teague, Cobb, who returned the kick, one of 3 running backs you'll see on the Bridgestone Tires starting lineup. Eric Knott, a very good tight end. This is a 3-receiver set with Brown, Shabai, who's been banged up, and Trannon. One of those juniors, it's about time they step up. Up front, Wheeler and Cook on the left side. Chris Morris, 16th consecutive start in the middle. Whitaker and Poole on the right side. Poole is from Flint Central High School. 2nd and 6, Reeves' first pass. Comes to his running back, Teague, who is stopped and stuffed and shut down. Goolsby cleaned it up after Carlos Campbell, the nickelback, made the first hit. on that Irish D. Justin Tuck, the left end. You want to watch 44 in pass rush situations. Terrific sack artists with Paulie, Landry, and Buttonsett. Hoyt and Goolsby in the middle. They make the most tackles. They make the most plays. Derek Curry comes off the end. On the corners, Preston Jackson and Dwight Ellick. Burrell and Zibikowski are the safeties. Tom Zibikowski, the sophomore out of the Chicago suburbs. Very good game against Michigan last week. Loss of 2, 3rd and 8. Reeves' second throw into double coverage is incomplete. It was intended for Matt Trannon, the big 6'6" receiver. But Burrell and Campbell had the coverage. And Daddy watches his son go a quick 3 and out.
That is a textbook series for the Notre Dame defense, getting Michigan State's offense into 2nd and long and then 3rd and long. The more obvious the situation of a passing down for Michigan State, the more trouble they're going to have with Stephen Reeves as a redshirt freshman. Notre Dame will throw a bunch of different looks at him.
Be alert for Carlisle Holiday to break a punt return tonight. This guy can really play.
Brandon Fields, the punter, strong leg, tries to keep it out of Holiday's hands, but this is out of bounds at the 25, and the Irish will take over after the punt of 34 yards. So the sophomore, Brady Quinn. Doesn't it make sense that the quarterback for the Fighting Irish is from Dublin? From Dublin, Ohio, the Columbus suburb. This sophomore took over last year and really took his lumps. Made a lot of mistakes, but very quietly he's emerging into a more consistent performer. Coming off a decent effort against Michigan, 10 of 20 and 2 touchdowns. Put it up in the air 47 times in the loss on ESPN in the opener at BYU. The senior Ryan Grant, the first carry, is brought down. Loss of about 4 on the play. Clifton Ryan off the end to make the play. Grant gets the start. We're going to see Darius Walker, the freshman we talked about a lot later on. Rashawn Powers-Neal caught a touchdown against Michigan last week. Fasano, the tight end, a terrific blocker. Stovall and McKnight, the receivers. Up front, Harris, Morton, John Sullivan. A sophomore is a great athlete, is emerging as a solid player with Stevenson and Lavore on the right side. Both seniors over there. Loss of 4, 2nd and 14. And Quinn's throw is incomplete. It deflected off the leg of Maurice Stovall. Contact with Roderick Maples, the corner, but they rule it was not too early. Let's show you the guys up front. Clifford Dukes, 59, has to stay on the field. He's banged up. Vickerson, McKinney, and Ryan, who made a play on first down. Terrell Dortch was a running back last year. He joined Stanley and Herron in the linebacking corps. Dortch was a running back, and so is Jaron Hayes, the left corner. Moving from offense to defense, and they've handled the adjustment well. Harmon, Smith, and Maples round out the Spartan D. They've been run on a bunch in the first 2 games. 3rd and 14, the pressure on Quinn, and a flag comes down as Quinn goes down. Jaron Hayes came off the corner. Vickerson up front, Herron in the middle. Everybody had a party at the quarterback. Bill Lemonnier, Big Ten official, signals holding, and it'll be 3 and out for the Irish.
Holding, 76 offense, penalty decline, 4th down.
That's Bob Morton, the left guard, who was whistled for holding.
The quickness of Michigan State, the blitz came through, but also Vickerson just kind of getting right by Bob Morton. Morton did the best thing. You don't want your quarterback to get killed, so he grabbed on to Vickerson.
DJ Fitzpatrick is the punter. He's improved his average by about 4 yards here to start the season. Kyle Brown back deep to receive for the Spartans. Look out, they got it! It's a block! Touchdown! Jeremy Scott fell on it! Marshall Campbell, the backup linebacker, with the kick block. Excellent place kicker Dave Rayner on for the try out of Brandon Fields' hole. It was Notre Dame last week with the 4th quarter block punt that changed momentum in the game. John L. Smith's special teams gets it going here. Campbell comes in, lays out and gets the block. Jeremy Scott, the backup receiver, falls on it, and the Spartans score first at home.
Time. Get a $50 mail-in rebate when you buy 4 select Bridgestone Dueler tires.
A memo went out. Did you get it? It's calling for an end to individuality. It says that movies should be formulaic. It demands a style be ordinary. And sedans, well, they should just blend in. No leather interiors or navigation systems or powerful V6 engines. Funny, we never got that memo.
So what's this about the bottle?
Well, you know how we look so fit in our swim trunks.
Yes.
I've discovered that our Guinness draft has only 125 calories.
Only 125 calories? Brilliant! What else are you working on?
You know how your skin burns if you're on the beach too long?
Yes, it stings like the dickens.
Well, I've invented a lotion that protects you from the sun's rays.
Brilliant! Brilliant!
Guinness Draft has only 125 calories. Enjoy it responsibly.
Brilliant!
Relax, we got supplemental insurance.
What are you talking about?
If we get injured and miss work, we're covered for things like lost pay and other expenses with this.
With what?
Plus, they pay you cash. Great, huh?
Who does?
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Special teams put the Spartans on the board first.
A lot of confusion here. Jaron Hayes is going to walk in and move down to the inside, and this creates a little bit of confusion, I think, with Notre Dame's protection, because at this point, Jared Clark is the halfback up trying to point out who to block, but Lee, he makes a critical mistake in who to pick up.
If you watch number 1 there, his rule is to block the first man from the inside out. I don't care how many people are on the field. Jared Clark made a bad mistake there by not blocking the inside out rusher. That's why they blocked the kick.
And Jeremy Scott recovers the touchdown. Rayner with a big leg kicks it all the way back, and Stovall just takes the knee, so the Irish offense comes back out at the 20-yard line. Brady Quinn leads them back out. You see the numbers against Michigan last week with the 2 touchdowns, but I find it interesting, 27 fewer attempts than in the BYU game to open the season. They established a run which made it a little bit easier on Quinn to perform against the Wolverines last Saturday. Fasano, the tight end, in motion, and to the air with Quinn. Complete to Stovall. 10 yards to the first down for the junior out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Early in this football game, a couple things to keep an eye on for Notre Dame. The first 2 offensively, you got to get Darius Walker involved. He hasn't been on the field yet. Yeah, actually just checked in, but get him more involved in the offense. See if he can pick up off what he did last week. And it's only going to help Brady Quinn in throwing the football. And then on the other side, they've got to be able to get after Scott Reeves, show him a bunch of different looks, get him into 3rd and long, and that's when you'll see number 44, one of the best rush-ins in college football, Justin Tuck in the backfield of Michigan State.
You mentioned Darius Walker, number 3 is in the lineup, and here comes the freshman out of Georgia. Right out to the 40-yard line, nearly a first down on that run. Darius Walker unseen against BYU. Terran Willingham said he wasn't ready for the full package. Yeah. Also nice to have a little extra surprise when you play the Wolverines. And here comes Walker with 31 carries at a $115 for Coach Willingham.
I also found it interesting that his dad, Jimmy, played football for Lou Holtz at Arkansas, and yet he goes to Notre Dame instead of South Carolina. A little interesting tidbit right there.
Young man, obviously a freshman, but he is only 18 years old. Doesn't turn 19 until next month. Toss for Rima McKnight is incomplete, but a penalty marker down. Jaron Hayes there in coverage. The Michigan State side is saying it was uncatchable. And the field judge, Bobby Sagers, and the line judge, Julius Levis, are talking about that right now. The line judge says, I got the flag, but the field judge says it was uncatchable. And here's the decision.
No foul on the play. The pass has been ruled uncatchable.
My question has always been, maybe the penalty caused it to be uncatchable. Yeah. You ever see that, Mike?
Yeah. This time Hayes holds on a little bit too far down the field, but the ball, tough to see from that angle. But it's one of those things, which one's first? Right?
Rashawn Powers-Neal comes in and moves out to the left side as a receiver here on third and less than a yard. Darius Walker attacks the hole and gets the first down at the 42-yard line. Well, Darius Walker in the state of Georgia took another Walker out of the books, Herschel Walker.
Well, he scored 46 touchdowns his senior year. Yeah. Old Herschel only scored 42. Kirk, that ain't bad.
That's not bad. That's not bad. And a lot of schools were after him. The one thing I've noticed watching him last week, especially in the second half, and now watching him just early, the first series he's been in, the offense just has a different feel. The offensive linemen break the huddle differently. There's just a feeling of security because they know what he can do.
4 yards there to the 46. Reese Davis will keep us updated on a busy night. What a finish in the SEC, Reese.
That's right, Mike. Taco Bell takes us down to Auburn. This is Auburn's extra point attempt that goes wide to the left. But early Doucette, who was back in the end zone for LSU, ran toward the line, leaped, landed on an opposing lineman. That's a personal foul. Vaughn gets another attempt, puts it through. Auburn wins by 1.
After a missed extra point earlier in the game from LSU, and that's a rule that changed this year. You can't go up and land on an opponent.
Terrible rule.
You don't like that rule?
Not today.
Why, have to do with your pick?
Yeah.
Second and about a half dozen. Quinn to the tight end, Collins, and incomplete. That's Jerome Collins, an Irish fans. You know that name, a defensive end and a linebacker who's been moved over to tight end. He hasn't caught a ball yet. I think we're going to see a lot of him tonight. He's going to have to learn how to adjust to routes, and he's talking with the backup quarterback, Pat Dillingham, about that there.
Always talking about West Coast offense when it comes to Tyrone Willingham coming to South Bend. He's had a few years now to recruit the personnel. One of the most important positions, obviously, the quarterback. And we're watching Brady Quinn before our eyes grow up on every snap and every series, showing more and more patience, which is key to the success of this offense.
You see where they need to go. The Michigan State 48 to keep the drive going. Quinn is swarmed under and brought down. Clifton Ryan and Kevin Vickerson meet at the quarterback. And back-to-back series end with third down pressure from the Michigan State front four.
And that's a perfect example of what happens from a coach's standpoint. Here's Clifton Ryan, number 92. What happens is when it's third down and long, they don't care about anything except pinning their ears back and coming after that quarterback. That's why it's very important sometimes to run a couple of draws, Kirk, or screens on third down. Yeah, slow them down.
Also, great job with coverage there. Yeah. Brady Quinn had nowhere to go.
The last punt was blocked. See if DJ Fitzpatrick can get this one off. He does. No fair catch called for by Kyle Brown. And he is stopped immediately by Chris Vaughn in special teams. A 46-yard punt. Long field for the Michigan State Spartans. A hairy night in East Lansing.
Who's rising? Who's shining? Who's next? ESPN the magazine. On newsstands now.
Thank you for opening the door.
Thank you for playing in the U.S.
Thank you for making us proud.
For being part of a great tradition.
Thanks for being a role model for me and my dad.
Thank you for your toughness.
Thank you for picking up the torch.
Thanks, beautiful.
Thanks for being our sister.
Yeah, we love you. We love you, Mia.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root.
You don't have to leave civilization to find adventure. The 245 horsepower all-wheel drive Nissan Murano.
Where does reality end and pure vision begin? It all starts with a Pioneer plasma display. The purest color, the purest experience. Pure vision. Only from Pioneer.
ESPN's College Football Saturday Primetime. Brought to you by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade, is it in you? And Nissan, who invites you to shift the way you move through the world.
We welcome you back to East Lansing, Michigan. Michigan State's defense has done a good job on the first couple of drives. A blocked punt leading to a special teams touchdown. The early points here in the first 6 minutes. Michigan State with quarterback Stephen Reeves taking over at its own 17. Empty the backfield and the pass incomplete. Mike Goolsby immediately on the coverage intended for Eric Knopp, the tight end.
Tonight, Michigan State offensively is going to have to spread Notre Dame's defense out. I think they realize that Notre Dame's better than them up front. Spread them out and try to confuse them and try to throw the football to give Scott Reeves a better chance to execute the offense. And on the other side, defensively, the trademark last year was creating sacks and coming up with turnovers and more big plays from their leader, Clifford Dukes. These four things are essential tonight for Michigan State.
2nd and 10 and a run for Jason Teague. No gain there. We'll have 3rd down coming up. Just Justin Tuck in on the tackle. Well, how has Michigan State ended up with Stephen Reeves as the quarterback? He didn't start the first game, a loss at Rutgers. That was started by Damon Dowdell, the senior out of Detroit and Henry Ford High School. They thought Batman number 5, Drew Stanton, was going to be the starting quarterback for Michigan State. But we were there at the Alamo Bowl on the 4th play of the game when Stanton got hurt on special teams, injured his knees. That's why Dowdell got the start in game 1. Reeves started game 2. Stanton played a little bit in the reserve role last week. And he throws an interception here to Tom Zibikowski. And the safety keeps going to the 13-yard line. Only his 2nd start. The redshirt freshman Reeves throws the interception, a 22-yard return, has Notre Dame in great field position.
This is life as a quarterback, as a redshirt freshman in a big game. Zibikowski's right here. He's just going to sit on the hash, nothing crazy. He's not trying to hide himself. He's just simply sitting back in a cover 2 zone. The ball is thrown. It's almost as if the quarterback didn't see him. But again, that is inexperience in a big game.
Now, one of the reasons why that happened, also, they put a man in his face, and that disrupted his vision downfield. And they threw the ball a little too soft in the middle. If you're going to throw it across the middle, zip it.
2 tight ends. A lead blocker for Darius Walker. Takes that block by Rashawn Powers-Neal and moves inside the 10 toward the 9-yard line. So Reeves on the phone quickly to find out from upstairs what's going on as Darius Walker ran so well in the red zone in the 4th quarter against Michigan. Both of those touchdowns. You see some of it here, the quickness, the speed, and the vision. When everybody talks about Walker, whether it's his high school coaches or the folks at Notre Dame, there's a great vision on this running back. He's out right now, and the senior Ryan Grant is in for 2nd and 6. Grant hits the hole hard. 1st and goal, Notre Dame, as he gets across the 3-yard line.
Boy, that was a perfect example of the offensive line. John Sullivan, Stevenson, and Morton coming off the ball, especially Dan Stevenson, who negates the big tackle, and then Grant's got that little bit more size, Kirk, and he made that nice quick run. That's a nice run on short yards by Grant.
Especially since last week against Michigan, Walker had all the success outflanking Michigan's defense and getting to the outside. Scouting report shows they're going to go outside. They rip them through the middle with a first red zone opportunity.
The big back Grant inside the 5, pushing forward, and he'll only get about a yard on that one. Ronald Stanley lost his helmet, the Michigan State defender, but Eric Smith, the strong safety, made the play. Notre Dame lost to BYU and beat Michigan, as we mentioned. In that Michigan game, they scored 21 points in the 4th quarter, so you take away a score on the defense from BYU, they had only put up 17 points in their first 7 offensive quarters of the year before the 4th quarter explosion in South Bend last week. 2nd and goal, 3rd straight carry for Grant. Probes the right side. Let's see if he got in. Looks like he's going to be a hair shy. The conversation, see where the ball came down. Just short. I think it's going to be 3rd and inches.
Now, we've gone over this for 12 years we've been together. Anytime it's less than a yard down at the goal line, I feel like you put your big linemen together and your quarterback sneak. And the reason why I say that, you don't want to take the football back 5 yards and hand it to somebody when you only got short yardage to go.
You see how angry Grant was coming off the field? He didn't get the touchdown, and Walker came in, and he was really upset at himself there.
Well, I would not give the ball to Walker. I would not give the ball to anybody. Quinn they got tackles that weigh 300 pounds. The center weighs 295. If you can't make 6 inches, you don't deserve to win the game.
Rashawn Powers' knee stopped for the moment. The second effort get him there. The ball came free as well in that strike. But it was marked down. It's 4th down. What do you want to do?
You go for it, but you don't do it without a lead blocker. How many times we talk about that?
Yeah, I know you like to have the quarterback there. The way Michigan State is packing it in, way inside there, I would use Darius Walker in the way that he had success last week. Give him a toss sweep and let him use his speed to the outside and find a seam that he can get into the end zone. Now,
okay, remember, sweetheart, it's only less than a foot. And if you can't get that big right guard and right tackle to move their butt out the center and make that, you don't deserve to win Notre Dame. Run a quarterback sneak.
4th and goal.
That was better.
Brady Quinn, touchdown.
You know what? And I'm telling you this, and you guys don't believe me. That's a win psychologically for Notre Dame. For Michigan State, as a coach, if you got it on the 1 yard line and you got to make them trick it in, I'm telling you. That's a touchdown, but that was a trick play from that short.
You know, Notre Dame last week against Michigan in the 2nd quarter had a series very similar to this. They got stopped.
Yes.
And we talked with their coaches this week. They said that was the turning point in that game last week, because they realized they had to be more aggressive. So they almost used a stop in a positive way. This time it's a trick play, but this time they get their ball in the end zone.
DJ Fitzpatrick adds the extra point. Brady Quinn runs it in for his first touchdown on the ground in 2004. On 4th and goal, the Irish respond. John L. Smith got a special team score. Oh, couldn't get the 4th down stop. All square at 7.
Hey, I need that chart.
Emailing it now.
You're emailing from the copy machine?
No, I'm emailing from BizHub.
BizHub? Wait, did you make my copies yet?
Right after I scan this.
You're scanning at an email machine?
Email machine. I'm at the BizHub machine.
Copying.
Emailing, then scanning, then copying.
BizHub?
Surprising versatility and amazing affordable color. That's BizHub from Konica Minolta.
I'm number 14, baby.
When you're Pete Rose, you're the guy who broke Ty Cobb's record.
He just made the biggest mistake of his life.
Hustle, Saturday, September 25th, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, presented with limited commercial interruptions.
I'd do anything. The new series where you risk everything so someone you love can experience their ultimate sports dream. I'd do anything. Premieres Tuesday, September 28th at 10 p.m. on ESPN.
It's time for the Chrysler Model Year-End Clearance. Pretty soon, the last of the 2004 vehicles will be gone. But until September 30th, the best selection is waiting for you. Choose from the versatile PT Cruiser, spacious Sebring sedan, or America's best-selling convertible Sebring. Plus, get our 770 powertrain limited warranty. It all ends September 30th, so get to the Chrysler Model Year-End Clearance today. Now get $1,000 bonus cash for a combined cash allowance of up to $5,000 on select Chrysler vehicles.
Cool golf in the high country, vibrant walks on mountain trails, relaxing on the downtown square. Live full-time in Prescott or own that special place for refreshing getaways. Canavest offers gated luxury townhomes and condos at prestigious Hacienda and beautiful golf villas at Prescott Lakes. Canavest has what you really want. Prescott, just 90 miles from the valley. Call 1-800-827-1960 today.
Sophomore Brady Quinn, first rushing touchdown of his Notre Dame career. It all started with the interception thrown by Stephen Reeves and picked off by Tom Zibikowski of Notre Dame. So mistakes have put both teams in position to get a touchdown apiece. Carl Glass, sophomore out of Valparaiso, Indiana. Pre-med major, plays the piano. DeAndre Cobb with the return. And spilled around the 25-yard line. Freddie Parrish, one of the backup DBs, on the tackle. As I mentioned, this game one of a college football primetime Saturday double dip. You'll see Matt Leinart of the #1 team of the nation, the USC Trojans, struggled against Virginia Tech to open the season. Looked very good against Colorado State last week. He'll take on the BYU Cougars. Ron, Mike, and Aaron will have that for you coming up right after this game from Provo on ESPN.
Kirk and I disagree with this. I think USC wins by 4 touchdowns at least.
I think BYU's defense, that 3-3-5 defense, will create some problems. SC will win, but I think it'll be closer than people might expect.
Then 4 touchdowns.
Yes.
Yeah. With 3 of those touchdowns very lately, right? Reeves,
right.
A first down pass to Jason Teague out of the backfield for 8 yards. Some of you just joining us, watch the Sooners today. Reese Davis tells us what happened in that one.
Mike, another big day for the freshman running back, Adrian Peterson. Sooners and the Ducks 17-7 game in the third, and Oregon just had no answer for Adrian Peterson. Went over 180 yards on the afternoon. Sooners roll 31-7.
Oregon opening up with the loss to Indiana at home, and now Oklahoma by 24 in Norman. Second down, Teague again. And a first down across the 40-yard line. Brandon Hoyt on the tackle. Only the 5th time in the history of Spartan Stadium that we've had a Michigan State night game. Our players will be back for the second of those 5 games. Mike, Coach Kirk, and Jill with you here on Saturday evening. Michigan State has dominated this series of late. The first touchdown scored on a block punt. Notre Dame took an interception and then a 19-yard touchdown drive to even the game. First down run for the junior team. Gets out to the 45, a pickup of 4.
I like the play calling by Dave Baldwin, the offensive coordinator for Michigan State. After the interception by his young quarterback, comes right back in the next series, gives him a couple passes where he can get his confidence back out in the flat. Very simple throw, a little screen to pick up the first down, and eventually Notre Dame's playing nickel every single play. Michigan State at some point is going to have to get something from the running game to take some of the pressure off their young quarterback. That time they were able to pick up pretty good yards on first down.
3 receivers, 1 tight end. DeAndre Cobb is now the lone back. Michigan State fired out early on the left side of the offensive line. And it's going to be 2nd and 11 coming up. A little behind the play pushing as the wide receiver, Matt Trannon, continued his blocking with one of the ND corners.
Prior to the snap, ball start offense. Number 72, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Stephon Wheeler, the junior from New Jersey.
Kirk mentioned that nickel defense. One of the things that impressed me about them, they're the most experienced defensive team in America. They start 9 seniors on defense for Notre Dame. They can do a lot of different things, Kirk.
Quick hit to Trannon. A marker down as Trannon eludes one man, gets the sideline. Matt Trannon takes it all the way down to the 31. If it stands, it's a pickup of 28. Flag down by the line of scrimmage. I wonder if Michigan State had enough people on the offensive line. You saw the penalties a moment ago when John L. Smith was the coach at Louisville. The Cardinals are near the nation leader in flags.
Illegal formation, Michigan State, number 79. Not enough men on the line, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
John L. was very proud of the fact and said nobody brought it up that his team was not penalized very much in the win last week against Central Michigan, just 4 flags.
That's another one of those points of interest, and they're looking at it more than ever right now this year. The right tackle that time, 79's Sean Poole, was back off the line because of pass protection, and that's why they gave him the penalty.
So back-to-back 5-yard procedure flags, and now we have 2nd and 16. Reeves puts it in the belly of DeAndre Cobb. to about the 38. Derek Landry, the junior out of Concord, California, made the play. 66 there. Chance to be a great nose guard, says Kent Baer, the outstanding defensive coordinator for Notre Dame.
We talked to John L. Smith about his team. He said we're an immature team. We're young and we're immature. We lack focus and consistency at times. Think about how big a gain that was potentially on this drive. Now look what it is. 3rd and long and trying to execute against this Notre Dame defense.
Get into the formation. The sideline makes the adjustment. We're seeing more of that. Over the middle, it's caught by Kyle Brown. First down. Goolsby made the hit, but the junior out of West Bloomfield, Michigan, right around the corner from where the Ryder Cup is being played, came up with a big first down there.
And you know what I loved about that pass? Remember I mentioned the fact that when Reeves throws the ball across the middle, don't lob it, drill it. Kirk, that was a perfect example of throwing across the middle.
Yeah, the windows are very tight. When Notre Dame's dropping 7, you have to zip it in there. This guy's got plenty of arm to do that.
Yeah, he's got one of those Home Depot bought drills, that's for sure, on the left arm. There it is again. Pass knocked down. Mike Richardson, the backup DB, came in. Spartan fans say he was there early. It looked like he made a nice play, the junior Richardson.
But the technique here by Richardson, he may be a backup, but the way he's able to come up there and get his hand in there, I thought that was an outstanding play. I don't think he came in, and sometimes a guy will come in like that and touch with his left arm or left shoulder. I thought he stayed back well and came through with that right hand. Nice job at defending that pass.
Reeves adjusts the 2nd and 10 play. Jason Teague hit the hole hard. To the 30, give him 18 yards. First down, Michigan State.
Well, that was a wonderful automatic. I'm sorry you didn't get a chance to see it, but number 20, Teague, was about 3.5 yards behind the center. When he called the automatic, he moved back Kirk and Mike 5 yards and gave him a little bit more room. That was a terrific automatic by Stephen Reeves and a better adjustment by Jason Teague.
Hakeem Shabai, the receiver in the slot from the 30. It is Teague again. He was spilled right at the line. Victor Biamiri, sophomore out of Maryland, made the nice play to submarine the runner. We approach a minute in the opening quarter.
Did a nice job of mixing up the play calling on this drive and keeping Notre Dame's defense off balance. First couple drives, Notre Dame kind of teed off on Stephen Reeves and the Michigan State attack. This time, I think they're trying to play a little bit of a guessing game. They don't know whether it's going to be a run or a pass.
Teague, the running back, is split wide to the near side. Reeves comes inside to Trannon, the big, tall receiver. Running hard out to the 22. We'll have 3rd and a couple coming up. A penalty marker down as well. Penalty marker came down late after the play, thrown on the opposite side of the field.
We'll have a sideline warning.
Okay.
Charge to the Notre Dame bench. Sideline warning.
Reese Davis in the studio. Reese.
Mike, out in the Desert Bazaar game between Wisconsin and Arizona. Mike Stoops' team on top 7-0. Booker Stanley's going to take it in for the Badgers. Oh, what is it with the extra points this year? Mike Allen's going to push one. There was a 1.5-hour delay in this game, so the coaches decided since that came in the 2nd quarter, forget halftime. We'll play on through.
Coach Stoops, Coach Alvarez, let's go. We got things to do here. Wisconsin trailing on the road. Short side option here to Teague, and the ball comes out, and it's Zimikowski. Taking it all the way. Notre Dame touchdown.
Only the Irish.
Willingham was upset. The officials are conferring. I don't see a flag. It's 75 yards. I don't know if there was a celebration flag called. The touchdown will stand, I do believe. It will. Short side option turns into a touchdown.
We have a second sideline warning. Charge to the Notre Dame bench. Play stands. Touchdown.
Must be the official getting tripped up a couple of times for sideline warnings to come up back-to-back situations, but it's been quite a quarter for the sophomore out of Arlington Heights, Tom Zibikowski. First the interception to set up one score, and 75 on the fumble return there. DJ Fitzpatrick adds the extra point. A little bit of everything in the first quarter, and a 14-7 Notre Dame lead.
What I loved about Zibikowski here is the way, now Reeves comes down the line, and this is lack of experience with the option. He needs to continue down to make Zibikowski commit and then pitch it out. He did not do that. Zibikowski's able to play the quarterback, then come out and play the running back. Good job of ripping the ball loose, and now he's going the other way. But that was outstanding athletic ability by Zibikowski, but also poor job of running option football by Stephen Reeves.
But also well-coached position by Zibikowski. He was in perfect position there. And you know what? That's a new trend all over the country, that stripping. We saw LSU do it against Auburn 3 or 4 times. That's the NFL coming into college football, stripping the football away from the runners.
That is textbook Tyrone Willingham and Kent Baer, their defensive coordinator. We talked to him this week. He said, we emphasize turnovers. We have drills every day in practice, and then Thursday we have a circuit, and we rip balls out of ball carriers' hands. We jump on top of it. Kent Baer, I know, is going to be very excited when he has a chance to look back at that one. That was a big play, and I'll tell you, when you start to do it every game and every year, it's not luck. This is just the way they coach their defense.
And remember, Dennis Green had Tyrone Willingham as an assistant for 6 years in the pros. Those guys do that, Mike. They do that as an everyday thing, like Kurt said. I think it's a wonderful trend for the coaches to do in college.
Not much room to run for DeAndre Cobb as the first quarter comes to an end. What a bizarre first quarter. We had an interception, a blocked punt that turned into a touchdown, and a stripped away option for a score. After one, the Fighting Irish lead the Spartans 14-7 in prime time. Big Ten in Notre Dame on this Saturday night.
The road to the BCS is presented by Russell Athletic. In last year's Big 12 championship game, Kansas State was looking for their first conference championship in 69 years against #1 ranked Oklahoma. Trailing 7-0 in the second quarter, the Wildcats exploded for 35 unanswered points. Darren Sproles accounted for 323 yards of offense in Kansas State's lopsided upset.
They set up in the eye on this, the last play of the game. And here's the snap. Hand off to the tailback. Peterson tries the right side. Wow, what a hit. But he stays on his feet, and he's broken to the outside, and it's wide open. Touchdown. Give him a touchdown.
One night, some lawyers snuck into your home and made you sign a contract dictating that you have to be a mature, sedan-driving adult. The bad news, that really is your signature on the contract. The good news, there's a loophole. No one said it has to be boring. It can be gorgeous. It can be fast. That's the loophole.
Silver Premium Malt Beverages, 5% alcohol by volume. 4 flavors to share with friends and those about to be. Flavor your night.
Somewhere, there's a man accessing sensitive information by way of a fingerprint, while a security team closely monitors a ship's cargo, helping to keep our ports safer. And a dad checks on his business from his son's baseball game. What do all these people have in common? They rely on America's #1 security company, ADT. Always there.
ESPN puts the spotlight on the highlight with ESPN 25 The Book. Available now.
Quarter number 2 here in East Lansing. Notre Dame scoring on a defensive touchdown on the final play from scrimmage of the first to take a 14-7 lead. Both teams coming in here at 1-1. Renewing one of the great Midwestern football rivalries. 68th meeting between the schools. First time Stephen Reeves has been a part of it. He grew up watching Notre Dame, loving the Irish as a kid. And off to Jason Teague on first down. Gets it out to the 27-yard line. Back to the studio, and here's Reese again.
All right, Mike Miller takes us down to Tallahassee. Florida State trying to bounce back after the loss to Miami against UAB. This is 4th and goal, and the fullback's going to slam it in there. James Coleman. Seminoles are rolling early in the second, 17-0.
That game over on ESPN2, where later on tonight, Big Ten fans get a chance to see Minnesota taking on Colorado State. So lots of football settle in. Doubleheader on ESPN and ESPN2 this final Saturday of summer. 2nd and 2 for Reeves. High and not brought in by Ogin Shabai. Mike Goolsby, the senior out of Joliet, Illinois, with the big hit. Tonight's game track brought to you by Pioneer. It was the block by Campbell, recovered by Jeremy Scott to make it 7-0 right away. This interception by Reeves. Zibikowski took it back inside the 20. It led to a Notre Dame score. And then Tom Zibikowski ripped it away out of the hands of Jason Teague. And 75 yards to make it 14-7 for the Fighting Irish.
Just another night of football for the Irish. 24 yards total in the first quarter. 14 points off of 2 turnovers by Michigan State.
We get a whistle here before the 3rd down snap can come out. Looked like a timeout was taken.
Timeout. Notre Dame. First team charge timeout.
So ND will stop it. And while we have a second, here's Jill Arrington.
Well, John, how's he looking out there?
Well, he made a mistake early there, but, you know, I talked to him earlier, you got to have amnesia when you make mistakes like that.
What kind of advice did you give your son starting in such a big game against Notre Dame?
Just try to stay cool and calm, you know, don't let the stage fright get to you, and go out there and play football and try to be relaxed and do as good as you can.
Well, he's been around football his whole life, around you growing up in these kind of big atmospheres. What do you think that he's taken most from that kind of experience that will help him on the field?
Well, we've tried to surround him with situations like this, so if he ever had a chance in an arena like this, that he'd be used to it. And so he has a little experience as a spectator, but this is his first shot at the big time. It came a little sooner than we expected, but we're having a great time.
Well, Dad, I hear that you get a little nervous watching your son out there. How are you holding up right now?
I'm sitting on some hot coals right now, I guess.
All right. Thanks a lot. Good luck today. Back to you, Mike.
Yeah, Jill, a 14-year quarterback in the National Football League. As a matter of fact, Jill's dad played with John Reeves when they were both members of the Philadelphia Eagles. 3rd and a couple. Stephen Reeves trying to keep the offense on the field. Almost threw another interception. It was intended for Kyle Brown, but he was heated up that time. Miriam Curry came in, and Notre Dame's pressure forces a punt.
Well, Notre Dame's been pretty conservative with their pressure and how they've been able to come up with being able to get after Stephen Reeves. This time they brought the blitz, and I think they forced him to get rid of this ball a little bit sooner than they'd like to, because Curry got in free, and almost another interception by the Irish.
And anybody that saw College Game Day, that was sighted, just which you showed today on the demo field. Wasn't that perfect?
Yep, that's exactly right. Leave your towel on, you look good.
Brandon Fields kicking away. Deep kick. Carlisle Holiday to the 11, but room to run. Nice job not taking the block in the back by 2 Notre Dame players, as Holiday is sent down at the 23-yard line. Good hit by Jason Harmon. Big kick of 62. Brought back a dozen yards by Holiday.
A typical full-size pickup handles like this over rough terrain. With outboard-mounted shocks placed outside the frame rails, Ford F-150 handles like this. The advantage of being the only pickup with outboard shocks is easy to see. Only this truck earned the right to be the next Ford F-150.
So you're a guy who wants to get the girl, but you've got oily skin. So you get Nivea for Men Oil Control to get rid of oil and the shine. And get the confidence you need to get the girl. Got it? Good. Nivea for Men. More evolved skincare.
The itching and burning of athlete's foot. This is the latest way to get rid of it. This isn't. Lotrimin Ultra, the latest prescription strength medicine available without a prescription. So powerful, one use a day is all you need. Lotrimin Ultra.
From Philips comes the only flat TV with built-in ambient light technology, which changes color with whatever you're watching. So you are completely surrounded by the experience. The new Philips Flat TV with Ambilight.
Introducing the world's first coffee house that doesn't belong on the corner. It belongs on your counter. The new Home Cafe brewing system. Individual Folgers coffee pods and unique pressure brewing make a variety of freshly brewed coffee house style coffees. The new Home Cafe at a coffee house near you. Your house.
Stronger denim. More comfortable, relaxed fit. Wrangler 5-star premium quality denim. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans.
Back in East Lansing, the Michigan State offense trying to put the pieces together. They've looked good in spurts, but have short-circuited on third down. Irish 14, Spartan 7. Brady Quinn leads the team back out from its own 22. Down by the student section, which is encouraged by the D-line to make some noise. And Quinn's going to go to the air. Airing one out down the middle. Pulled down and caught by Jeff Samardzija. Jared Hayes was there in coverage, but the sophomore goes up and gets it for 53 yards.
This is an outstanding call and a perfect time to go to the deep post here. And you get Shelton one-on-one. The safety's way up, thinking it's going to be a run, play action. They give him time, and this is just Shelton outrunning the defensive back. If the ball is in front of him, if it leads him, he walks into the end zone. This will do more than just pick up a big gain. This will soften the Spartan defense and then open up the running game as Walker comes back.
Matt Shelton just hitting home runs. The 46-yard touchdown grab against Michigan in the third quarter, and that 53-yarder here. Out of the backfield, Darius Walker eludes the first tackle and takes it down to the 23. David Herron made the tackle. It's funny, this Notre Dame team has Maurice Stovall and Rima McKnight, the two receivers who were in there and start, but that's the second time Shelton's been able, in a run-down kind of situation, to get behind the defense and make a big catch. Add one more wrinkle to this West Coast offense.
If those safeties are going to commit to the run, you've got to take advantage of that. That was a good call.
Jerome Collins is the tight end in the game. Quinn's looking for Collins, throwing for Collins. Almost brought it down, incomplete. Eric Smith, the strong safety, the true leader of this defense, was back there with Jason Harmon to make a good play.
And don't be surprised if Notre Dame throws the ball in lobs and long passes like this to guys like Collins, who's 6'4", and also to Stovall, who's 6'5", because their defensive backs, Smith and Hayes and all the rest, are 5'9", 5'10". Down here, passes in near the end zone to the tall receivers are the best kind of passes you have.
Good play by Smith. You saw his ability to get his arms on the 6'5" tight end and broke it up. 3rd and 7, and the Irish need to get just to about the Spartan 15. 4 options to choose from. McKnight blocks for Quinn. First down at the 11. Marcus Freeman, the tight end, and the receiver, Rima McKnight. 2 good blocks for the 11-yard gain.
Again, we're talking about the maturity of Brady Quinn. Patience, feels the pressure. Now, this is the thing that'll surprise you about Brady Quinn for his size. 6'4", about 225 pounds. First of all, he knows where the sticks are, but the speed to get to the corner and pick up the first down.
The right tackle, Mark LeForce, drove the defender around behind him. That was a nice offensive play.
Sean Powers-Neo lead blocks for Darius Walker, who gets only a yard or so out to the 10-yard line. You know, last year in watching Brady Quinn, those last few games, it was just like he was trying to survive. Now a little more of the offense is on his shoulder, and it's that slowing down the maturation freshman year to sophomore year.
I think he hurried himself, like a lot of young quarterbacks when he sat in the pocket. Things were just going by, and it's almost like a blur. And now, as he said, and everybody says, the more experience that you get, the game seems to slow down. You can make your reads a lot easier. You can just see his footwork. I mean, he just looks like he's much more poised in the pocket.
Stovall and McKnight, the receivers. McKnight, bottom of the screen. Quinn rolls that way. Throws behind, and it is intercepted. On the deflection, Terrell Dortch comes up with the pick.
And one of the things it teaches a coach, and Kirk knew, when you're rolling to the left, you never throw the ball back across your body because all the defenders are there. When you see this play, Brady Quinn makes a mistake by throwing the ball back to where all the Michigan State defenders were. It was deflected. Interception.
Fourth interception thrown this season by Quinn. That's a killer.
See that?
Throw a pick in the red zone.
See that?
Harden ball in the 20 when we come back.
One of the game's greatest players has engaged in a variety of acts which have stained the game.
Hustle, Saturday, September 25th, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Ford Explorer. It's the first midsize SUV with an available safety canopy system. It has the best pick endorsement from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. And it has a wealth of technology that delivers not only safety, but confidence with outstanding on- and off-road capability. Ford Explorer. The best-selling and most trusted SUV in America. Ford Explorer.
They set up in the eye on this, the last play of the game. And here's the snap. Hand off to the tailback. Peterson tries the right side. Wow, what a hit. But he stays on his feet, and he's broken to the outside, and it's wide open. Touchdown. Give him a touchdown.
People everywhere are experiencing a breakthrough. Fullness from a value menu.
He was fine, and then he just stopped eating.
This man is completely full. What was he eating?
The spicy chicken burrito.
He kept going, sound. Are you sure? And fullness off a value menu?
It's the new Big Bell Value Menu, featuring the spicy chicken burrito with shredded chicken simmered in authentic Mexican spices. To keep your stomach and your wallet full, think outside the bun.
ESPN's College Football Saturday Primetime. Brought to you by the next Ford F-150, 2004 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, and Russell Athletic, who has proudly outfitted 34 national championship football teams. Are you Russell material?
Notre Dame, a program with 11 national championships. Michigan State claiming portions of 6 over its great history. Terrell Dortch comes up with the interception. Guy who was a running back, moved back to his original defensive back position. Has done a very nice job in a very key spot on the Spartans defense. Taking over from the 20, DeAndre Cobb with 10,400-meter speed. No chance to show it. Ellick and Burrell make the tackle.
Let's take a look at Brady Quinn's mistake. He rolls out to the left, and you teach a quarterback never to throw the ball back across your body because that's where all the defenders are coming from. That was a fundamental mistake by a sophomore quarterback, Brady Quinn.
And the guy who threw back into Jaron Hayes, running back from last year, who had a great game against Notre Dame, got his hand in there, ball goes up in the air in the goal line. Somebody's going to come up with an interception.
That's right. Their 2 best running backs from last year were moved to defense in the offseason and combined on that big play in the red zone. Second down, Reeves to Agim Shaban. Caught the deflection for a gain of about 4. Third and a long 5 coming up. Shabai can be a deep threat, but he hasn't been yet this year because of the ankle injury that he suffered. George, back to the guy who made the interception. It wasn't an ankle, but it was a real serious injury. He had a double fracture of his lower right leg back against Wisconsin a few years ago. The pain was so bad they had to give him morphine on the field. He was 16 days in a hospital in Madison, and the Badgers were great. Barry Alvarez went to see him. A lot of the players, the great running back Anthony Davis came in to give him a haircut. He went back last year as a running back and was able to play at Camp Randall, one of the emotional stories of last season. Reeves' third down throw is incomplete. Again, intended for Agim Shabazz. So the Spartans will go 3 and out for the third time here tonight.
Really surprised that Notre Dame, when they've gotten Reeves into third down, only once or twice have they come with a lot of pressure. I think they just feel maybe they're better than Michigan State up front. They're trying to get their pressure that way. That way they can still sit back in a zone and sit back with 7 guys in defense.
But you brought an excellent point. Anytime a team plays the whole nickel defense the whole game, you got to run the football, Kirk. Or try to run it.
Brandon Fields, 55-yard punt. Carlisle Holiday from the 20. The man who started at quarterback in the Notre Dame-Michigan State game the last 2 years returns at 20. Jason Teague made the tackle. Good field position for the Irish as we come back.
This bolt is 4.5 inches long, made from hardened alloy steel. 6 of them connect the cargo box of the Ford F-150 to its frame. Why do we do this when others don't? Because we're building the strongest pickup. You can be sure of that. We are. Only one truck earned the right to be the next Ford F-150.
That's a silverback. You can see the silver right on the back. Oh, great. He's making a call. He's making a peak hour call!
Just hope you're not roaming.
Too many restrictions on your wireless plan?
You want some of this, monkey boy?
Come to T-Mobile and talk whenever, nationwide.
Whenever.
T-Mobile gives you the most whenever minutes. 1,000 for just $39.99.
T-Mobile, get more.
She left me for adventure. Once Flonase had her nasal allergy symptoms covered, she could go places. She was fearless because only Flonase is approved to treat nasal symptoms from all 3 major causes: indoor and outdoor allergies, plus year-round environmental troublemakers. Allegra is approved to treat nasal and non-nasal symptoms from just one cause: outdoor allergies. Zyrtec and Claritin are approved to treat nasal and non-nasal symptoms from just 2 causes: outdoor and indoor allergies. Only Flonase is approved to treat nasal symptoms from all 3. For best results, use daily. Side effects are generally mild and may include headache, nosebleed, and sore throat.
I came back. I needed a refill.
Talk to your doctor. All it takes is Flonase. It doesn't take a detective to track down great savings on Flonase. If you use Flonase, you could save up to $60 a year with $5 savings checks. Just call 1-877-FLONASE or visit Flonase.com today. All you want is Flonase.
There is no spotlight like that of Notre Dame's head coach, Tyrone Willingham, living in it and watching his Irish on this Saturday night. Trying to do the double here in Michigan. Beat the Wolverines at home and then beating the Spartans in East Lansing. 5 minutes in second quarter. Notre Dame leads by 7. Senior Ryan Grant gallops through the hole, and the man from Nyack, New York, gains about 5 yards. It's kind of a neat night for Tyrone Willingham. He's done it before, but it's still special. Anytime you come back to your alma mater as head coach, all this coaching experience, all these years, you make so many ties, but this is where the football dream began for Tyrone Willingham and the coaching dream as well. And he gets to come back and bring his team, the most storied franchise in college football history, into his old place. And give it to Ryan Grant with a lot of room to run out to the 35-yard line. A pickup of 20 yards. Good blocking up front.
Left tackle Ryan Harris, left guard Bob Morton, number 76. Nice play of taking the men down in the way they want. Kirk, I like the way the offensive linemen from Notre Dame step out, make good contact, and then just drift with the guys.
I also like the way the tight ends get involved in their blocking. These tight ends from Notre Dame are incredibly physical. They use 2 or 3 at a time. They come in and they seal that block that time and open things up for Ryan Grant. Ryan Grant's running, I think this is the first time we've seen him this year run with a purpose after the success of Darius Walker last week.
Walker is in the game now. Quinn first down, play action. Breaking free is Matt Shelton. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Matt Shelton doesn't do anything in a small way. 46-yard touchdown last week, 35-yarder here tonight. Now he'll come on down and hold for DJ Fitzpatrick. Good throw by Quinn there as well. (21-7) Notre Dame.
This isn't really anything fancy. You're going to have Shelton, who's going to come across and go here, but Fasano goes and draws the defenders to him, which opens up the throwing lane for the quarterback, Brady Quinn. Simple play action. Look at the 2 defenders right there, get locked in on Fasano, opened it up for Shelton, and I'll tell you, I think Shelton all of a sudden has become Brady Quinn's best friend. After that interception, and you talked about a no-no throw him back into the defense, big drive right here and a big series for Brady Quinn to get going again.
Give Bill Dietrich, the offensive coordinator, a lot of credit on that. It was a first down, play action. After Ryan Grant had made that good run, they faked the same play and came across and hit Shelton for a touchdown. That's a nice call because the defense has a tendency to look to that tailback again. Touchdown.
No question. Bill Dietrich seeing the same thing we are on first and second down. The Michigan State safeties are running up to the line of scrimmage to try to overload to take away Ryan Grant and Darius Walker from running the football.
Shelton had the 53-yard catch earlier in the game out of Collierville, Tennessee. So it's back-to-back weeks with touchdowns. Now 3 receiving touchdowns in his Notre Dame career. DeAndre Cobb had to come up to get the short kick. He lost the football. And Michigan State lucky to get it back. And the Spartans are on the hairy edge of implosion. Mike Richardson knocked it free.
When you're down 21-7, you're playing at home and you're a young team, these are the things that cannot happen. We're very, very fortunate for Michigan State to get this football back. You're right. You kind of feel right now that you're a play or 2 away from Michigan State from this game getting out of hand.
That Mike Richardson, 5'11", 190, really popped that guy there. That was a nice tackle.
Well, where will Michigan State find some stability? First down run with Jason Teague. Good run, delivered the blow, takes it out nearly 10 yards. Just shy of the first down as the pushing goes on to the bottom of the pile. We go visit with Reese Davis.
Mike, a rainy night in the desert. Wisconsin and Arizona Badgers in trouble. This is a 4th and 5 play. John Stocco to Owen Daniels converts. It sets up a field goal for the Badgers, Mike Allen. But Arizona now has the ball on the Wisconsin 25, about 2.5 to go. We'll keep you up to date.
All right, Reese, keep an eye on that one as Wisconsin tries to hang on out in the desert. That would be a huge win for Arizona. Their defense played well in that game against Utah last week.
Yep, Mark Stoops came in as a defensive back coach, and we saw many times from Miami, did a nice job with that group.
They picked up the first down on that carry, and it's Jason Teague out to the 36-yard line. Zibikowski made the tackle.
You notice the 2 plays we've seen it now. Michigan State's looking pretty good. You know what they're doing? They're running the football. Anytime you see a nickel defense, you at least got to try to run the ball and establish something up front, get them out of that nickel defense.
Especially with Jason Teague. I mean, he's a guy who really has the ability. If you also throw in a couple of these back, Colcrick, I think, is their power back, and he's been able to come in here and give them a little bit of a lift here these last 2 plays.
J.U. Colcrick. A freshman back who they're excited about here in East Lansing. Reeves is hit. Lost about a yard. Brandon Hoyt comes in and makes the play along with Trevor Laws. And a Michigan State player is injured on the play.
See, they're rushing 4. They have 2 linebackers in the game. They're getting to the outside and forcing him to get out of the pocket. This is where, as a young freshman, You got to get down in a hurry because that defense will chase you down. Lucky he held on to the football.
One of the things I like about the Notre Dame team, when their linebackers and backs drop, they get in good football position, and wherever the runner is, they converge. There's always two guys on them. It's a well-coached defensive football team for Notre Dame, obviously experienced with 9 seniors starting.
The injured Spartan is Stephon Wheeler, the left tackle. He was rolled up on from behind as he was blocking. So as they look at Wheeler, we'll step out for a moment. Halfway through quarter number 2, Notre Dame leading by 14.
Log on to the all-new CircuitCity.com today for a chance to give your home a new look with our $20,000 Plasma TV makeover. You could win 5 new flat panel TVs, from a 10-inch flip down for the kitchen to a 70-inch plasma for the living room, when you register at CircuitCity.com/plasma makeover. The new CircuitCity.com is so easy to use. Shop and compare products with more than 125,000 customer ratings and reviews. Log on to the new CircuitCity.com today.
In summarization, there are 2 main reasons to sign up for Net Zero. Internet access for $9.95 and high speed for just $5 more. Sign up and Net Zero will make a donation to Ronald McDonald House Charities. In summarization, there are 3 main reasons to sign up for Net Zero.
Now for a limited time, sign up for Net Zero and we'll make a donation to Ronald McDonald House Charities.
Life got simple the day I plugged into the big brown machine. West Coast overnight, done. China, 48 hours, done. Brown picks it all up together and delivers it all on time. And with their global tracking system, I get the proof. It isn't that I'm not a trusting person. Yes, it is.
UPS delivers more packages on time than anyone. UPS, what can Brown do for you?
Michigan State's junior left tackle Stephon Wheeler was helped off the field. Gordon Nabilski, another junior, will take his place. So a new left tackle in the game for 3rd and 5. The Spartans are down 14. They move the pocket. Reeves just puts one up for grabs, and it's incomplete. Trying to get his tall receiver, Trannon, and even though it wasn't a pure pass rush, they pushed Nabilski back, and Reeves had no time to set and throw.
One of the first times Justin Tuck has gotten into that backfield and disrupted the timing of Reeves. That time he wasn't able to come up with a sack, but at least he forced him to throw the ball well.
47-yard career average for Brandon Fields, the best in Michigan State history.
Sooner or later, this Carlisle Holiday is going to get one. As this kicker kicks it so far, Mike.
Kind of got that a line drive. Holiday takes it on the run and has room to run. He takes it out to the 44. Penalty marker is down on the play. Not enough men on the line for the Spartans. This is the Michigan State team that didn't exactly fire it up after game 1. They lost at Rutgers in the opener.
Illegal formation. Offense, number 41. That penalties decline. First down, Notre Dame.
Everybody was all excited. Said, well, you know, Rutgers good team this year. Greg Schiano's team will be better. Then Rutgers loses to New Hampshire last week, and people say, well, what's going on with the Spartans? They came in jacked up, but a couple of bad things happened, and that emotion of being sky high comes down so fast.
Plus, it took the crowd right out of the game.
It did.
It's really quiet in here. You'd think, wow, it's because those touchdowns, and they went.
I think Michigan State's vulnerable to the emotions. I think Notre Dame feeds off of it. I don't think Notre Dame is going to blow you away with their athletic ability, but they seem to feed off of breaks.
First down toss to Maurice Stovall. Nice open field tackle by Roderick Maples, senior out of Cass Tech High School in downtown Detroit.
This crowd seems to be very polite.
They weren't a game day today.
I know, but instead of that driving force that we see in other parts of the country, you know, when the team gets behind, they rally behind them. This team, fans are not rallying behind the state team as much as I'd like to see.
I know you coached in Indiana for many years. Let me tell you the difference between proactive crowd and reactive. The Big Ten, it's reactive. Yeah. The SEC, it's proactive.
Oh,
that's all.
That's very deep.
There you go.
2nd and 5, Darius Walker Nice little wiggle back to the inside. When the coaches talk about his great vision, a little bit of it there. He kind of has the ability and the complete package, this true freshman out of the Atlanta suburbs of Lawrenceville.
He also has the ability to make the first guy miss and then not slow down his momentum towards his run. This is what he did last week. He's able to break. He's got some strength. I mean, he's able to break the tackle. Then he has the quickness to be able to get by the guy. I love how he has quickness to shake a defender, but not slow down. There are very few backs who can do that early in their career. Darius Walker has that ability.
He has it.
He sure does.
He does.
The running back it. First down, picked up the 45. Going right back to the air. Pick up about 7 there with Chris Vaughn with the catch. And here's Jill Arrington.
Well, speaking of Darius Walker, he told me that, Barry Sanders is his idol, and he says that the key is in the eyes. He said, just follow your eyes. If you follow your eyes, you look down the field, that's where your body's going to follow. You can see him shaking those moves, Kirk, as you talked about.
Well, we're back in Barry Sanders' old neighborhood. It's only appropriate to talk about the great number 20 went into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this year. 2nd and 3, Stovall and Shelton, the receivers. Walker's going to be brought down just a half-yard shy of the first down by Ronald Stanley. This guy was a Michigan State captain last year, voted a captain again this year. Only a half dozen players in Spartan history have been multi-year captains. Terrific academic record as well for the senior from Saginaw, Michigan, who forces the 3rd and less than a yard coming up.
And a 4-year starter at Michigan State, a rarity. And a guy can start 4 straight years at Michigan State.
Whether it's Stanley or somebody else in the all-green, some Spartan has to make a play. Trying to keep Notre Dame off the board again. Walker able to spin out of that first tackle, and Kevin Vickerson nearly had him stopped, but I think the extra effort picked up that first down across the 35.
Chris Smealan, the defensive coordinator, happened to slant his defense in the right direction that time, and Vickerson, if he was able to hold on to Walker, would have stopped him well short of the first down. Now we're going to, I think, have a measurement.
Yep. Bring him out to check it out. Don't you guys sense when you watched Notre Dame last year that there wasn't firepower on the offensive end? And people talked about, does Notre Dame have the athletes? Now you watch them ever since this second half against Michigan, and here the first half of this game, starting to see some players, as they just do pick up the first down, get comfortable in roles and give them a lot of options offensively.
And speaking of that, since the second half of Michigan, they've got nice offensive balance. That's the thing I think is impressive to me, Kirk, is the fact, and Mike, they look like they can run and throw with a nice mix now.
I also think it's their play call. At times, incredibly conservative. They don't always showcase their big play ability. Remy McKnight is a talented wide receiver. Maurice Stovall is a talented wide receiver. We've seen Ryan Grant tonight looking like he's healthier. Darius Walker, they have skill. It's just a matter of whether or not they're going to give it an opportunity to show what it can do.
Here they bring Marcus Wilson in the game, the tailback, split him out to the near side. Another first down throw. It's downfield for Walker, or rather for Wilson, and it's incomplete. Eric Smith, the safety on the coverage, and once again, here's Reese in the studio.
Right, Mike, Arizona had a couple of negative plays, made it a 47-yard field goal attempt for the win for Nick Folk. A chance to be a Folk hero, but just outside. 4 turnovers against Utah last week thwarted the Arizona upset bid, and this time a narrowly missed field goal, and Wisconsin escapes the trip to the desert.
And you see that Wisconsin-Penn State game. You'll see that early evening next Saturday night here on ESPN as the Big Ten play gets going. Wisconsin survives the storm and the desert storm as well. Ryan Grant still going. Never stopped. The ball came out as well. Spartans feel like they have it. No signal from anybody who counts. Now there is. Big Michigan State forced turnover. Jason Harmon, the free safety, comes up with the cough up from Ryan Grant.
How many times do you see a running back give outstanding effort, second, third, fourth effort, and a lot of times, boom, the ball comes out. It was close there to see if his knee was down.
And we do have instant replay in
That's
this
right.
game.
Right.
So the technical advisor up in the box. Let's see if he will decide to take a look at it. Michigan State's at the line. The way instant replay works, if the technical advisor saw on that play something that requires more of a look, he hits a pager down to 4 officials on the field and says, let's review it. The play has been whistled in, and I don't see any of the 4 officials with the pagers reacting. It's kind of silly. You're watching to see if somebody gets paged. They were not. The play is not reviewed, and the first down run from J.U. Colcrick only gains a yard. There is the booth up top with Jim Augustin, the technical advisor, former NFL, or former official, I should say, who's handling the reviews here tonight.
You know, the director of officials, Dave Perry, gets the retired officials throughout the area that have evaluated the Big Ten officials, and he puts them in this position of technical advisor. Sounds good. I don't like it, but it sounds good. And I'll tell you the second why I don't like it.
Jim was the one sitting there on the left. It's 2nd and 8. Agim Shabai couldn't pull down the high screen toss from Reeves. Just a reminder, the coaches can't challenge. This is unlike the NFL system. And I think that was a very good call because it almost looked like his knee was coming down.
It started to come down and he lifted it back up.
Exactly.
Lifted it back up and the ball came out. But, you know, as we said, when you have that kind of effort, sometimes that back forgets about the football and a big hit comes through late.
Your point on replay?
But the reason I don't like it because I can't get a hold of that guy. He's up there by himself.
As a coach, you're saying you don't like
as a coach, I don't like as a coach. No, not at all.
3rd and 9. You can't yell at him as a coach.
That's right.
Reeves has the pocket closed, but found Kyle Brown across midfield. That's the second big 3rd down hit to the junior receiver, who's looking like Chris DeMarco in the Ryder Cup. Say, come on, you're here to root for us. Do something. As Stephon Wheeler, the left tackle with that ankle iced, heads off the field.
Nice Ryder Cup reference there, Mike.
Welcome.
Kind of not going well, but Kyle Brown is the most explosive receiver for Michigan State. They finally got him the football, found him an opportunity in the zone, and found some space, and the quarterback, Stephen Reeves, put it there.
How about a shot down the field for the Spartans? This one is deflected and incomplete. So Reeves trying to find that. Once again, Derek Landry, second half against Michigan. He knocked down a couple of balls thrown by Chad Henne.
Speaking of Kyle Brown got a 44-yard touchdown from Reeves last week. He's a #1 receiver when it comes down. That's a nice play there because you're taught as a defensive lineman, as you guys know, Landry is taught, is if he can't get to the passer, you raise your hands and try to deflect it.
What I think is incredible is he has success doing this, and he's 6'2".
Yeah.
6'2", and he's knocking balls down.
2nd and 10. Michigan State needs to get something out of this drive, don't you think? Reeves hides it, loads it, knocked down, incomplete pass. Trevor Laws, a high school heavyweight wrestling stud, the 3rd guy in the middle, came there for the pin down and the knockdown on Reeves.
This time, Notre Dame mixed things up a little bit. They brought some secondary pressure. It happened to free Laws, and Laws got out. It's a pretty athletic jump for Trevor Laws as a defensive tackle to come in and get into the face of Stephen Reeves.
You should have seen him do a spin that time. And you know, he's another one of those giant guys, 6 foot tall. But boy, was that a nice wrestling spree. Yeah, nice quickness.
They need to get out just shy of the 36 to keep the drive alive. The Irish rush 5. Reeves throws an interception. Derek Curry looking for blocks. Picking them up. Pulled down to the 25-yard line by DeAndre Cobb. But John Reeves has watched his son go through a learning experience against a defense with 9 seniors. Another interception and another turnover for the Spartans.
This is life as a redshirt freshman. Stephen Reeves doesn't even see Curry. He thinks his man has the defensive back beat to the inside, and Curry isn't doing anything special, dropping into his zone, and Reeves hits him right in the face mask for an easy interception.
I want to say something about DeAndre Cobb. He was in there blocking at 5'10", 197. Didn't look like he had a chance. He's the guy that stopped him from having a touchdown. That's a great effort by DeAndre Cobb.
McKnight on the near side. The back is Walker. And Darius takes it into the line for a couple of yards. And A huge danger zone here for this Michigan State defense. Tough first half for the quarterback read.
Not surprising. Anytime you're a young player, he has tremendous upside. He's going to have a great career at East Lansing, but he's still young. We're seeing Michigan go through some growing pains right now, right down the road in Ann Arbor with Chad Henne. It's part of playing a young quarterback, and sometimes they're going to make some great plays. Other times they're going to make some plays that from up here, it looks very easy, but from down there, it's very difficult.
Toss to Walker. Speed to get to the corner. Picks up, let's give him about 3. We'll have 3rd and 4 ahead. David Herron on the tackle, and again, Reese Davis.
All right, Mike, coming up on the Pontiac High Performance Halftime Report, Trev Alberts and Mark May will join me. A last-second birthday present down in Auburn. Georgia slips on by. Just down the road from you guys, very close call in Ann Arbor.
We'll look at Ohio State guys and examine just how they continue to win week after week.
A lot of extra points and field goal miss. I'll give you some advice on how to make them at halftime.
Must be sound in the kicking game.
From a tackle.
Hey, if Mark's giving advice, that means the old days of the linemen with the big, the forearm pads, the straight on.
Tie up the shoe. 3rd and 4. See you guys in a bit. Quinn, corner out, sheltered again, knocked away. Roderick Maples, who's broken up a half-dozen passes this year, avoids another Notre Dame touchdown.
That's a wonderful defensive play by Maples there. 5'10", 190 from Detroit. Watch him. He's got good position, but this is what I like. He watches the ball come up, and he goes up and deflects it out of bounds. That's a very, very athletic play there by Roderick Maples.
I like that he found the ball early.
Yeah.
He's able to see the football, and it makes it much easier to react to it when you can see the ball early.
Great look at that, huh?
Oh,
DJ Fitzpatrick has made his last 7 field goals from 37. Nope. Missed it left. And Michigan State has dodged a couple of opportunities. This could easily be 31-7. Instead, it's 21-7.
Everything's fine. Snap, the hold's perfect. He hit it well. He just hooked it.
Well, Mark's going to tell us at halftime.
There you go.
How to make those.
Mark Mosley will tell us at halftime how to hit that.
Mark Mosley's old teammate.
That's right. Did Mosley used to tie that? Did he? I know he had the square toe.
Last of the great straight-ons, of course.
Did he tie it up?
Joe Theismann held for him for years, and
for
Joe entered into the College Football Hall of Fame. One of the great Notre Dame names. Joe with that honor earlier this year. First down run for J.U. Colquitt, the good-looking young back. Gets 7 out to the 27-yard line.
I definitely play this J.U. Colquitt more. 3 times he looks like he's one of the football players that want to take it to Notre Dame and not receive it. 6 foot 235.
As I told Kirk yesterday. I said 30 green.
He's got a future.
Yeah.
Well, and for their style of offense, you remember the days of John L. Smith at Louisville. He's the kind of back they like.
For 2nd down, it is Colquitt
They say
again.
nothing.
Into the secondary. Now at the 42-yard line, do you want to take a timeout and try to get this one snap away?
Oh, absolutely.
8 seconds left.
Take a timeout, throw it down, see if you get a pass interception or deflected. You got to be proactive. You get beat 21-7.
John L's thinking about it. What do I have?
John L, take a timeout, will you please? You got one left.
So they'll take one here to discuss it from their own 42 with 7 seconds remaining and a 14-point Notre Dame lead.
What if you could live like a champion and shape the world we live in? Page, Doyle, Shields, and Mauer. These are our champions.
This is Notre Dame.
Notre Dame by 14. Don't go anywhere if you were at a college football game, one of the millions who went to a game today and you're just coming back home. Reese, Mark, and Trev show you everything that happened today in a couple of minutes. Probably the last play of the half. Reeves up top for Trannon, and the ball is intercepted. 3 interceptions here in the half. Mike Richardson trying to work the sideline and make something happen. He's brought down at the 42, and that brings us to the half. Notre Dame able to take advantage of the turnovers and field position. They lead Michigan State 21-7. Now Reese Davis of the Pontiac High Performance Halftime Report.
Okay, Mike, good first half performance by the Fighting Irish. Glad to have you along with us on the Pontiac High Performance Halftime Report. Trev, we talked about this game a lot leading up to it. I asked you the question several times. What can we learn about Notre Dame in this game? What have you learned in the first half?
Reese, I've learned that they've learned how to play with a sense of urgency. I mean, when I watched Notre Dame against BYU, this team didn't play with a sense of urgency. They came to the line of scrimmage with about 6 seconds left on the play clock. They are playing with a sense of urgency right now on offense and defense and special teams. Very impressed with Tyrone Willingham's team, Mark.
I like the growth of Brady Quinn thus far.
Yes,
Each quarter you can see the development, the growth. He's looking off one receiver, going to the other, reading the defenses. Each and every quarter he's growing in this offense. He's going to be very impressive as we go down the season.
A 21-7 lead for the Fighting Irish at the break. Coming up on the Pontiac High Performance Halftime Report, a nail-biter and a birthday present down on the plains. Auburn and LSU in a tangle that had a bizarre ending.
Monday Night Countdown, presented by UPS, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN.
Thank you for bringing me.
Isn't that beautiful?
I've got an eligible beer in the cooler on Hector. Less taste, very unmacho. Replacing with great tasting, less spilling Miller Lite. Half the carbs of Bud Light. Wow. We've also got a disproportionately hot girlfriend. I will need further review.
Hi there.
I think I could.
Oh, please.
Hey, Tina.
Miller, good call.
I'm number 14, baby. When you're Pete Rose, you're the guy who broke Ty Cobb's record.
He just made the biggest mistake of his life.
Hustle, Saturday, September 25th, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Presented with limited commercial interruptions.
On the season premiere of Dream Job.
You were that boring. Bring it to us with a little feeling. Joe Wojcicki, you've been cut.
This week, one more will be cut, and your vote counts. Dream Job, live Tuesday at 7 Eastern on ESPN.
Big Ten football is a special tradition.
More than 5.5 million fans pack our stadiums each year,
making Big Ten football what it is today.
So respect the game and show good sportsmanship, because the Big Ten sets an example for everyone to follow.
Before, during, and after the game.
Big Ten football. Good sports make great fans.
Boy, this is something. The biggest Chevy Silverado sale in Chevrolet's long history? Well, it's about to happen. One of the top 3 Chevy dealers in America, the Big C, courtesy Chevrolet. Right now, they're having a super Silverado sell-off never seen before. 350 Silverado pickups discounted at least $8,000, as much as $10,000. You want to pick from 350 new Chevy Silverados with a guarantee that you're going to save $8,000 to $10,000? Well, that's happening right now, today, at Courtesy Chevrolet.
With warm days and cool nights, now's the perfect time to plant. Hi, I'm Brian from Whitfield Nursery, and we'll do the digging. At Whitfield's, we have thousands of homeless trees waiting to make your own paradise. Big 15-gallon shade trees, palms or citrus, your choice. Any tree planted and guaranteed just $199. Extra nice 24-inch box trees from just $99. And huge trees like ficus, now only $7.99. From hibiscus to roses, ironwoods to ash, let us save you money. Whitfield Nursery, since 1946, honest value from my family to yours.
Welcome to the Pontiac High Performance Halftime Report.
Notre Dame with a 21-7 lead on Michigan State at the break. LSU and Auburn, it's been a little bit of a bizarre series. They've had the earthquake game, the barn burner game, the cigar smoking game, and after today, the extra point game and the penalty game. Hurricane Ivan threatened to kick off of this one earlier in the week. Got wet and nasty for a while, but sunny skies on the plains as the Tigers took the field. This is the opening drive for LSU. Marcus Randall finds Dwayne Bowe.
Early in this game, Marcus Randall had a great drive. The first drive of the game was perfect for Marcus Randall.
Not quite perfect, at least not on the extra point, because Ryan Godet makes like Alexis Cerna. Score stayed 6-0. Late in the fourth, that would be big. I know, I'm a little salty. 9-3 game. Here is Jason Campbell, Courtney Taylor keeping a drive alive on a 4th and 12. So the Tigers now on a 3rd and 12. Campbell, Taylor, touchdown. We are tied at 9. Here's the extra point. Mark May's going to show you how to make these. Oh, he missed it. We're headed to overtime, except there was a personal foul penalty. This is what happened. Number 8, Ronnie Prude. You cannot line up behind the neutral zone, run toward the line, and then land on an opponent, which Prude apparently did.
Landed on a teammate.
They called the personal foul. That gave John Vaughn a reprieve, and he made it, and Auburn hangs on to win it. 10-9, the final. This game was virtually a dead heat statistically. The big difference, LSU got one more penalty, and it allowed then Auburn to try the extra point one more time. Game going on in Neyland Stadium tonight, Florida and Tennessee. Mighty Gators after a volunteer turnover. Here is Chris Leak finding O.J. Small, and Leak, this is a grudge game for him. He feels as if Tennessee has slighted his brother, who's still a member of the volunteer team, and the Gators are on top 7-0 about halfway through the first quarter of this game. Another power in the SEC East, Georgia taking on Bob Pruitt's Marshall team. First quarter, Marshall up 3-0 when Michael Cooper takes it in for the Dogs. 7-3, Georgia on top. Low-scoring game throughout. It's 10-3. David Green to Tyson Browning, who coughs it up. Chris Royals there.
That's kind of the story for Georgia offensively. Just can't get anything going. But look at Earl Charles. Nice cut back there. Powerful running. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Georgia's defense helped their offense all day long.
That brought up a 4th down play. Stan Hill couldn't complete the pass, and Georgia hangs on. 13-3 is the final there. Oklahoma faced Oregon this afternoon without Dusty Dvoracek. Earlier this week, Dvoracek was suspended by Bob Stoops after an incident came to light last weekend in which a former high school teammate of Dvoracek's was left hospitalized. After other incidents came to Stoops' attention, he removed him from the team permanently. So Dvoracek, a standout defensive lineman, gone. Sooners having to deal with the Ducks, and they did so. 31-7, Adrian Peterson, the first, all those great Sooner running backs, the first Sooner freshman ever to start his career with 3 straight 100-yard rushing games. Miami blew out Louisiana Tech 48-0. Devin Hester took 2 punts back to the house for the Hurricanes. We will continue on the Pontiac High Performance Halftime Report. Michigan State, Notre Dame, Tom Zibikowski with the strip, Irish up 14. How to make extra points when we come back.
The Pontiac High Performance Halftime Report is powered by Pontiac and the first ever G6, the next official performance machine of the NCAA.
It happens in every NCAA football game. An interception, a defensive stand, or a dramatic touchdown. One play changes the outcome. Now you have the chance to pick the Pontiac game-changing performance. Join us on ESPN each week to hear our predictions and watch all the games. Afterward, come back here to see the 5 best plays and vote for the Pontiac game-changing performance of the week. Then watch Thursday's halftime show to see which school will receive a $5,000 general scholarship contribution from Pontiac. At the end of the season, 6 schools will compete for the Pontiac game-changing performance of the year, and your vote will decide which school receives a $100,000 general scholarship contribution from Pontiac. When the bowl games are over, Pontiac will have donated almost $200,000 in scholarships to schools around the country. So keep watching and keep voting.
The Sharp Aquas Liquid Crystal Television. Suddenly, there's more to see.
I think you've seen this weekend's best performance on the field. Catch College Game Day Final Saturday night to see the Pontiac game-changing performance. Show you the biggest plays of the day. You're going to get the chance to pick each week's winner. College Game Day Final presented by Pontiac Saturday nights all season long. Tonight after USC and BYU. Hope you'll stick around for that. Ohio State, North Carolina State. Buckeyes hadn't forced a turnover all year, but man, did they have a kicker. Mike Nugent reaching for a long one. He would tie Eddie George. Ohio State all-time point scored record is in 6th place all-time. He's a team captain. Here's a game-changing nominee performance. Jay Davis picked off by Dante Whit.
Once again, those young quarterbacks staring down their primary receiver. An easy read for the defender and a great pickoff there by Dante.
19-7 game. Nugent again reaching for a field goal. He was 5 for 5 on the day. 22-14. Ohio State takes advantage of turnovers from the Wolfpack, despite the fact the Buckeyes had an anemic offensive day. San Diego State and Michigan. 17-14 Wolverines with the lead. Matt Dugalecki to Robert Ortiz. Boy, this kid had himself a day. He's got soft hands. 21-17. Here's Chad Henne. Same page with Braylon Edwards. Set up a touchdown. 21-17. Here's the freshman again. Still on the same page. Braylon Edwards, 8 catches, 132 yards, and became Michigan's all-time receptions leader in this game. What a catch by Jeff Webb made, hey.
Just one-handed, so it's like he's got Velcro on his gloves. He just snatches it in, hits it off his leg, and hugs it in for the reception.
You know, Ortiz had one very similar to that. Now, Michigan running out the clock, and Henne tried to take a little extra time. Heath Farwell came in there late. He got flagged for that. 24-21, Michigan hangs on. Wisconsin and Arizona. 7-6 Arizona. This is 4th and 5. It was a rainy day in the desert, and Owen Daniels comes up with the grab from John Stocco. That is a nominee for the game-changing performance. Kept the drive alive, and under 5 minutes to go in the game. Arizona still clinging to that 1-point lead. Here comes Mike Allen. Short field goal attempt, tough angle. Toe meets leather. It is true. And Wisconsin escapes 9-7 against Arizona. Mike Stoops' team, a couple of near misses, turnovers hurting them against Utah last week. UAB and Florida State Seminoles trying to bounce back. They're losing to Miami, and the special teams coming through in a 10-0 game in the second quarter. The punt block against Watts Brown's team, and that was set up on 4th and goal. James Coleman, big fullback, slamming it in there for the Seminoles. The game going on over on ESPN2, just started the second half. 17-7, the Seminoles are on top of the Blazers. Chris Ricks, by the way, did start in this game and is playing quarterback. Maryland and West Virginia, how about the good start for the Mountaineers with K.J. Harris?
K.J. Harris right at the middle, excellent blocking, no one touching, great execution between guard and center.
10-3 game, Derek Finner. Beautiful grab with the pass from Joel Statham in Maryland, which has won 4 straight against West Virginia. Ties it up. Here's Brad Cooper for the win. And he gets it blocked. This was after a penalty, which had given him a reprieve because he missed a 44-yarder. Maryland kicked a field goal in overtime, and Rasheed Marshall to Chris Henry, and West Virginia breaks the hex. 19-16 in overtime. Rasheed Marshall didn't have great numbers, but because of the struggles he's had against Maryland, Rich Rodriguez gave his quarterback a game ball afterwards for fighting back. West Virginia unable to take advantage of 5 Maryland turnovers, put it away in regulation. They come through in overtime. All right, Mayday, you promised it during the first half of the Notre Dame-Michigan State game. We have seen a lot of special teams breakdowns, particularly on short field goals and extra points, it seems.
Well, what head coaches have to do is put a bigger emphasis on extra point and field goal. It only takes 1.2 to 1.5 seconds between the center snap, the hold, and the kick. 5 extra minutes at practice at the end of practice. 3 minutes during the practice. Twice you blow the whistle. It's a situation where players have to run up to a certain point, get the ball ready, kick it. You have a rush. Players get used to that. So when they get in a game situation, what happens is you're used to going on the field in the last second. And also when you're working on it at the end of practice, rapid fire, rapid fire. So everybody gets the proper step, proper execution, proper head placement, good snap, good hold. The kicker has to practice under pressure. Now, if that doesn't work, what you do is you take the kicker and the holder, move their lockers right in the middle of the offense and defensive linemen, and let them stare them in the face after they've missed those extra points of field goal.
You know what? And Kirk and Lee mentioned this in the first half on the punt block that Michigan State was able to execute. It was a missed assignment by Notre Dame on trying to make the blocks.
You know, guys, my thoughts today, obviously kicking was a huge part of it, but finally, Ohio State defensively, at some point, we need to take our hats off. You look at Jim Tressel playing to the strengths of his team. His offense had 137 yards of total offense. They were abysmal, terrible. But defensively, once again, A.J. Hawk and company come up with 5 huge turnovers. They got Mike Nugent, who doesn't have to have his locker next to the offensive and defensive lineman, 5 of 5. They understand their football team. Ohio State plays great defense. They win the kicking game, and they're waiting for their offense to finally come through. Justin Zwick will get better. Ohio State is continuing to impress me with their great defensive play.
That's one thing that Jim Tressel does. He makes sure that on special teams they don't make mistakes. And that's why Mike Nugent is so good at extra point and field goals, because they practice it. They know that they've got a great kicker behind him, and he's not going to miss, so they'll sell out for him.
And what does it say about a kicker? Because football players sometimes look at kickers as not really being football players. Mike Nugent's been elected a team captain
and he
for
should
the Buckeyes.
be.
And he should be. 5 field goals in this one. Well, Notre Dame has gotten it done on offense. Brady Quinn finding Matt Shelton here, fighting Irish in East Lansing, up by 2 touchdowns.
During the game, complete strangers unite, holding their fingers aloft in celebration of their team's greatness. But after the game, some of those same fans use their fingers for other purposes. When you leave the game, try to exercise some patience. You might even qualify for an All-State Safe Driver discount, because good sportsmanship should extend to the road. That's All-State stand. Are you in good hands?
Hey, buddy, ready to go?
The right genes make all the difference. Introducing Genworth Financial, built on GE heritage, now creating our own legacy.
Your #1 choice for automotive service, North Mesa Auto. We are a professional ASE certified service center that stands behind our work. Domestic and imports, computerized diagnostics, fast and friendly. Complete service is our specialty. 100% satisfaction is our goal.
Bring in any estimate, we'll beat it or match it, and give you a free Service is Our Specialty oil change.
North Mesa Auto, 480-964-9239.
Cool golf in the high country, vibrant walks on mountain trails, relaxing on the downtown square. Live full-time in Prescott or own that special place for refreshing getaways. Canavest offers gated luxury townhomes and condos at prestigious Hacienda and beautiful golf villas at Prescott Lakes. Canavest has what you really want. Prescott, just 90 miles from the valley. Call 1-800-827-1960 today.
Just getting started with football on ESPN this weekend. Sunday night football, the Dolphins and the Bengals. Carson Palmer coming of age as a quarterback. You get a chance to see him, also available in high definition. NFL primetime gets it started at 7:30 Eastern time. Get you up to date on the games, Florida and Tennessee. Jabari Davis, that is his 6th career touchdown against Florida. Coming into the game, he'd only carried it 39 times against the Gators, gotten in the end zone 5 of those times. Now number 6. The Volunteers have tied it up against the Gators 7-7. They're getting late in the first quarter at Neyland Stadium. Chris Leak, touchdown pass to get the Gators on the board after a Volunteer turnover early in the first quarter. Got a second half of football coming from the banks of the Old Red Cedar. Notre Dame and Michigan State. Spartans down 2 touchdowns. Second half after this.
The Pontiac High Performance Halftime Report is powered by Pontiac. Vote for this week's Pontiac game-changing performance at ESPN.com/Pontiac.
The best reason to drink Beck's Light is A, fewer calories, B, fewer carbs, C, she might think you actually have something in common. Life beckons, and you're holding the key.
There are over 200 ways to become an army of one. Log on to goarmy.com.
The difference between what you do and who you are is A, 2 words, B, often unnoticed in the dark, C, nothing. Life beckons, and you're holding the key.
It becomes like a friendly battle for the whole game. You have to keep it to a level where sportsmanship is still there. You know, when the running back's running as a wide receiver, it's my job to secure the edge, so I got to block the cornerback. You know, I'm trying to be nasty, physical. I'm trying to put him on his back, and then he gets up and say, hey, you know, that was a good hit. And I say, all right, you know, I'm coming again for you. You're athletes, you're warriors, but at the same time, you're sportsmen. NCAA football, a lifetime of opportunity.
Back here at Spartan Stadium in East Lansing, set for quarter 3. The Irish leading 21-7 over Michigan State. Mike Tirico, Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit, Jill Arrington back with you. What impressed you about what Notre Dame did offensively in the latter part of that first half, Coach?
Well, first of all, offensive coordinator Bill Dietrich called 4 straight passes on 1st and 10, all big plays, all big yards. Now, that kind of play calling has got Michigan State completely off balance. I thought that was well done by them.
Yeah, it was an adjustment because early in the game they were trying to establish the run, and then they saw Michigan State cheating their safeties up. And then they had Brady Quinn going over the top on 1st and 10.
Yeah.
What I've seen in this first half is it's business as usual. Michigan State, 4 turnovers. Notre Dame, 14 points off those turnovers, and that's why they've gotten up to a 21-7 lead. Right here, it's life in South Bend. 14 points. 14 key points off of those turnovers.
But it's attitude. It's not just luck.
I know.
It's attitude.
I agree.
Right.
I agree. They coach it. They coach it.
They also coach, and you guys brought it up, stripping the football.
Yeah.
I think that one play there turned this game around completely. It took the Notre Dame people that were here, made them happy. All the Michigan State people were
in the tanks.
In the tank.
Think
that
about
one play.
Last week, block punt against Michigan. That kind of got them going. So they seem to, like we said it earlier, but they thrive on opportunities like that. It kind of sparks their team and wakes them up.
Lee's referred to the end of the first quarter when Tom Zibikowski took it away and ran away 75 yards to take a 7-7 game, put the Irish on top. Added another score, it's 21-7 as Michigan State's Dave Rayner kicks it off, and Chase Anastasio brings it back for the Irish out to the 18-yard line. Penalty marker down, so maybe even a longer field after Chad Simon made the special teams tackle for the Spartans. It'll put Michigan State, or rather Notre Dame's offense, back inside the 10. And why don't we go downstairs and visit with Jill?
Well, in talking to both coaches, John L. Smith said he's okay with his offense. He says we're going to continue to execute our game plan. We just have to stop shooting ourselves in the foot and making stupid mistakes. You can't make these kind of mistakes in this big of a ball game. He also said we might see a new quarterback, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. As far as Coach Willingham goes, surprisingly, he said he's not happy. He says he doesn't like the turnovers. He doesn't like the way we're tackling. He wants a better ball game.
That's both guys right there. Coach Willingham,
perfect.
It's got to be perfect. And hey, it's okay.
That's all right. We're all right. I'm going to Mount Kilimanjaro. I'll be all right.
95 yards, starting this drive down by the students. Brady Quinn hides the ball, loads it up, a one-receiver route for Maurice Stovall, and the pass is incomplete. One thing I love about first down throws like that, it just, one, it shakes up the defense, gets them out of the mind of what's ahead of them. They have to think over their heads. It just gives you some confidence as an offense that we're going to be aggressive and take it to you.
Notre Dame had 2 tight ends and 1 wide receiver. Michigan State put 10 guys within 2 or 3 yards of the line of scrimmage. That's a very good call, and if he would have put it on the money, it would have been a big play.
Ryan Grant is the deep back. The senior has it. He gains a couple of yards. This is an early big 3rd down just for setting tone. The Spartans need something good to happen. Michigan State, as much as any team, is so fragile. Things can be going so good, and Spartan fans sit there expecting the worst. And you always get a sense of that when you watch Michigan State play football.
You're not saying this year. You're saying in general. Yeah, in general.
It's like the Spartan fan sees half empty. Oh, no, it's something bad that happened. The fans here right now are trying to urge their defense on. Quinn, deep ball, Stovall, the intended receiver. 3 and out. And Michigan State has a chance at good field position here. Well, there is Stephen Reeves, the quarterback. Doesn't look like a guy who's ready to come in with the next snap, does he?
No, not at all.
DJ Fitzpatrick had one block earlier tonight, resulting in an immediate touchdown. Kyle Brown is the return man for the Spartans. Brown runs up on it. What's it? Stay away. 37-yard kick. Downed at the 45. Great field position. And Drew Stanton is set to come in the game at quarterback. The penalty marker down. Decline this, coach, taking it to 45.
Oh,
yeah.
Hello. Absolutely. You got good field position. Now, in my opinion.
64 offense. Penalties decline. Ball turns over. First down, Michigan State.
And new quarterback, Michigan State. Drew Stanton, the sophomore out of Farmington Hills Harrison High School, comes into the game.
Now, I highly recommend you don't do something wild. Nice game plan with Drew Stanton.
This guy is a winner and a leader at Harrison High School in Farmington Hills. Won a couple of state titles. Well,
I see nothing.
Wasn't anything fancy.
No, but you know what he did? He was trying, I promise, he was trying to get, he was trying to call it. No, Kurt, he was trying to call an audible. Watch him. He starts to call an audible now. Watch. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, fancy.
All right.
Get up there, snap the ball, will you
That's
please?
a mistake. Keep your hands in there and make
That's
it audible.
coaching,
right.
Putting a guy in who's never played the game so far, right? And the first thing he's going to do is audible.
Stanton played briefly in the fourth quarter, one series.
Not tonight.
To a score. Yeah, no, I'm just letting everybody else know in the last game against Central Michigan. That's a fumble and a 4-yard loss, 2nd and 14. And J.U. Colquitt carries, and a penalty marker is down as Colquitt takes it for a yard. A holding flag on Michigan State. And 3rd and 13 or 2nd and 24. Take your pick.
I like my chances with 3rd down. Unless we play, you never know, the field position game.
Lubilski, remember that guy we talked about? Remember?
The left tackle came in for the injured Stephon Wheeler.
He jumped him.
10 yards, previous spot. Still 2nd down.
There are the numbers. Reeves throwing 3 interceptions. The 3rd one was on the final play of the half. But that freshman did not perform the way he did last week. And in the meantime, Notre Dame's freshman, the guys we spotlighted at the top of the game, Darius Walker, 10 carries, 33 yards. And the offense looked better than those stats do right there for Walker. But Ryan Grant ran hard as well. They take the flag. So 2nd and a whole bunch. A good runner, Stanton, off to the races. And he's just shy of midfield.
If Drew Stanton, we did the Alamo Bowl last year where he injured his knee covering a punt against Nebraska. He's had a little bit of problems in getting over that knee. If he were healthy, he'd be their starting quarterback. He's the guy. He was the guy that from the very beginning they thought if he were healthy, he would be the starting quarterback this year. The knee has really lingered. It's affected him. This week was the first week he's been able to take a lot of reps in practice. They told us he'd get in at some point.
3rd and 15. Dancing down. Kyle Buttenzak, 50-year senior out of Bridgewater, New Jersey. He, too, had to deal with off-season knee surgery. Hurt himself against Southern California. Great academic student, academic honoree 3 different times. Comes up with a sack, and they'll kick it away. Carlisle Holiday back to take the Brandon Fields kick. Try to angle it toward the sideline and give Holiday no room to run. It bounces out at the 19. Going on either drive, either side. Michigan State finds an answer on offense.
What's inside of my soul, it's rising up again. It's my life. It's my life. Oh, what a beautiful morning. It's great. Strolling on.
For those who never quit, the battery that never quits. Energizer. Keep going.
Raise your hand, you got it. Raise your hand.
Sure Unscented. It's the #1 selling unscented antiperspirant. Get outstanding odor and wetness protection, minus the heavy scent.
Raise your hand if you're sure.
From Philips comes the only flat TV with built-in ambient light technology, which changes color with whatever you're watching. So you are completely surrounded by the experience. A new Philips flat TV with Ambilight.
If you want to add a little flair to your floors, you can. From carpet to hardwood to laminate, nobody covers more floors than the Home Depot. Only the Home Depot has the new DuPont Real Touch Elite. It's so authentic you have to feel it to believe it. Install it yourself or get expert installation through the Home Depot. Right now, get 12 months, no payments, no interest on any flooring, kitchen, bath, or appliance purchase of $299 or more with your Home Depot consumer credit card. Only at the Home Depot. You can do it, we can help.
You're all right, man.
For those who never quit, the battery that never quits. Energizer. Keep going.
Notre Dame has Washington, Purdue, and Stanford the next 3 Saturdays in South Bend. They're trying to get this one on the road against the Spartans. Get over 500 and get a chance to get some home cooking there. They have to leave South Bend for a good stretch. Leading here 21-7. The tailback is Darius Walker. It's a solid hit by Jason Harmon, the captain free safety out of Ironton, Ohio. There's our game track, brought to you by Pioneer. 4 turnovers, 1 at the end of the first half, but 3 were really huge. A couple as Michigan State was driving 4 scores. And Notre Dame turned them right into points. 1 directly on a fumble return for a touchdown. The second one right there, the touchdown pass from Brady Quinn to Max Shelton. Quinn on the evening, just 6 completions, 1 interception, but he has 115 yards in that touchdown pass. 2nd and 9 for the sophomore from Ohio. Miscommunication with Raymond McKnight. A penalty marker is thrown. You know, if one was ruled uncatchable earlier, that certainly was uncatchable by that definition. And I don't know if McKnight initiated as much contact as the defensive back. You always have a hold, the hands to the face. Doesn't always have to be pure pass interference. No flag.
No foul on the play. It's been ruled that the contact was legal. No foul.
The ball's not catchable, but if there's anything at all that Roderick Maples did, is he came high. That's where you have to be careful. That's where you could get a penalty. But there was obviously not pass interference, but he did come up to McKnight up in the headgear.
As I said, it was hands to the face.
Yes, that's the penalty, regardless of where the ball is thrown.
Unnecessary roughness, hands to the face, 15-yard penalty.
NC State did a good job of those today. They had a lot of them.
Spartan students trying to get their team going here. Defense forced 1 3 and out. 3rd and 8. Quinn holds onto it long, waits for his man to break free, but couldn't hit Shelton. The reason he couldn't is because the pocket was closing. Kevin Vickerson and Clifton Ryan were swarming all over Quinn, who is 0 of 4 here in the 3rd.
Well, Quinn shows the patience of sitting back in the pocket, but you're going to have Stovall get clear, and he's going to take the safety, but if he could have held on just for a second longer, he's picking on the deep safety here. He had Maurice Stovall cutting right to the middle of the field all by himself because eventually Jason Harmon came off that outside to the receiver.
Agim Shabai is now back for the punt return. Fitzpatrick had to almost run into the rush to get that snap. Shabai on the run, has one block. And gets back to the 42-yard line. So for the second consecutive possession, outstanding field position for Michigan State. Well, tomorrow night, NFL primetime gets you going at 7:30 Eastern, presented by Miller Lite. And then the Miami Dolphins, Zach Thomas taking on Carson Palmer and the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals in primetime. Sunday Night Football on ESPN. 7:30 Eastern primetime, 8:30 Eastern kick time. Carson Palmer in his first career start. Very strong in the loss to the Jets last week.
He made some great throws. If the Bengals can learn to play defense, they'll beat the Dolphins on ESPN tomorrow night.
From the 42, Colquitt almost broke free. Took it down to the 35. A pickup of 7.
Boy, that was a perfect example right there of a corner blitz not working. If you'll notice the corner coming to the outside, and there is number 76, William Whitaker, pulling out and blocking. The reason why that play was so successful is Whitaker made that pull, kept his eyes up, boom, blocked the corner coming. Nice play by Whitaker.
He picked up the corner, which freed the linebacker, Brandon Hoyt, and Colquitt took care of that because he ran right over top of it.
This redshirt freshman, 6 foot, 235, pounding, moving forward. Gets the first down at the 28-yard line. Colquitt was a linebacker, moved back to running back, and boy, was that a good decision. Here's Reese Davis in the studio.
All right, Mike, Maurice Drew of UCLA is putting on a show against Washington unofficially in the first half. Now get this, 10 carries, 220 yards in the first half. UCLA is up by a field goal at the break.
220. Wow.
Wow.
Whew. First down, Colquitt again. Ball came out, they say it was down. The ball came out. You can't call that a late hit because the guy was running with the ball on Michigan State. But Colquitt spit it out, and now he's going to come out after fumbling, but he still gets a nice hand from the crowd. They love the way this redshirt freshman out of upstate New York ran the ball.
Like so many young backs, the only thing holding him back is pass protection, understanding the entire scheme. When it comes to just handling the football and running, he's a downhill runner and he runs with authority. As long as he starts to continue to do his film work and learn the offense, by the time they get to conference play, Colquitt's your running back.
9 carries, 65 yards. DeAndre Cobb comes in and put the screen pass on the ground.
Well, from what I've seen, I'd get myself another coach if you can't teach that guy Colquitt what to do on pass protection, because he is head and shoulders much better than any other running back that Michigan State's got. In fact, he puts the same thing in the Michigan State offense that Walker puts in the Notre Dame offense, something like spark. Oh, I like that guy. You knew about him before. I love him.
Big third down here, guys. Let's think.
Yeah.
3rd and 7. In field goal range. Stanton throw, he bounced it to Eric Knott. Again, you have to remember, here's Drew Stanton, who's thrown 3 passes in 3 games. Didn't play it all the first game, played 1 series in the second game. Had not counting blades of grass out there at the 15.
Yeah, but Mike, he's got to make this throw. I mean, if you're in the game, it's an open receiver. If he makes the throw to Knott, they pick up the first down and they keep moving to 6, and they take advantage of the second time of having great field position. Instead, they got to kick the field goal.
I wasn't giving him a free pass.
I know.
You're pointing out, just,
make that throw.
A little rush. Dave Rayner on to attempt from 41. He's got a big leg, but he missed this one. Excuse me?
I mean, they need,
you know what they need two field position. 2 times they had field position plus yardage. Came away with 0 points.
Dude,
that's what it means.
Right, translate coach to English for us.
Right,
how about the poor person doing the closed captioning? Irish, dodge a bullet.
Who's rising? Who's shining? Who's next? ESPN the magazine. On newsstands now.
buddy, ready to go?
The right genes make all the difference. Introducing Genworth Financial, built on GE heritage, now creating our own legacy.
With surround sound, this HD TV would be perfect for your party.
Yeah. Hey, you should come.
4th and 23. Williams rolls out, throws up a prayer. No! Touchdown!
Oh, yeah! Yeah! That guy's on my fantasy football team.
You know, you should think about TiVo. You can record the game and celebrate later.
Watch TV better at Best Buy with up to 10% off all home theater products $2.99 and up. Thousands of possibilities. Get yours.
ESPN's College Football Saturday Primetime. Brought to you by Mercury and your local Lincoln Mercury dealers. And Genworth Financial, built on GE heritage. Now creating our own legacy.
90 miles northwest of downtown Detroit in East Lansing, Michigan, on the campus of Michigan State. Notre Dame's visit every couple of years. So glad this series re-renewed after not being played in 95 and 96. Ryan Grant hit the hole. Kirk mentioned how well he has run in this game. Part of it is he's healthy. That left hamstring is healthy as it's been all month.
And he got some good blocking downfield. But, Mike, I think that's it. So much talk about Darius Walker because of what he did last week. But don't forget about Ryan Grant. He's been slowed with a hamstring. It's the first time he's turned it loose. Bill Diedrich told us, I think it's, when you get a hamstring, it's a little bit mental. He's never been out there and just turned it loose and really shown that he's back at 100% tonight. I think he has shown in a couple different times that he is back.
Now it's Darius Walker's turn over the right side. Again into the secondary, into the 43-yard line. And how about being a coach? You got two backs who are good, and now they're competing with each other, too.
Well, I just started to say, you know why Grant's looking better? Because of this run right here. Let me tell you something I've seen it all my life. You get a little competition in life, and everybody starts playing a little bit better. This Darius Walker is a great breakaway player. Ryan Grant is a slasher. They don't score a lot with Grant, but I'll tell you what, they score a lot with that Walker. That's my opinion.
Walker's got a lot more power than I think people realize. Not only the quickness, he's got some power.
After two 16-yard runs, Walker goes again, gets through a couple of tackles. Yeah, he shed the arm tackle of Clifton Ryan, who's a pretty good defensive player.
Because of the way he broke onto the scene, people saw his quickness last week. I don't think people realize he's 200 pounds. I mean, he's tonight, very few tacklers who've come up to him. He either shakes around him or gives them a stiff arm and they bounce off of him. It's when you get two tailbacks who are fighting for playing time, that's an offensive coordinator's one of his favorite things to happen.
Also, it's Brady Quinn's favorite. They put a little get the pressure off that number 10, get more offensive balance.
Second down. The freshman from Georgia gets pretzel bent backwards and sideways as he was brought down right around the first down line. They said he's so good at making the first man miss, and boy, we've seen that this entire drive.
The other thing we've seen on this drive is an offensive line taking a football game over. They're running a simple power play where they pull the backside guard around. He comes up to the linebacker, the fullback kicks out, and every single time Walker's getting through there or Grant's getting through there untouched.
You think it's bad now? I'm telling you, I'm making a prediction. In the fourth quarter, the Michigan State linemen go down. You think he's running right now? Wait till that fourth quarter comes. They don't have enough depth, and they get worn out. The defensive linemen in the front seven.
John L's telling his guys, crank it up. Notre Dame's the one cranking it up here, all on the ground in this drive. And you got him in the wheelhouse for some first down play action pass, too, coming along the way here.
An interesting stat that I found out and I couldn't believe this having coached against Michigan State, the defensive line for Michigan State, the first two ball games, 2 sacks. Hello, Michigan State used to get 2 sacks on 2 plays.
Last year they had 45 sacks. But that's the difference with the injuries that they've had up front.
First down run, Walker. Darius Walker gets to the corner. Out of bounds at the 14. So Darius Walker won 45 straight games at Buford High School. 3 straight 3A titles down in Georgia, 58-2, his high school record.
Mike and Coach, this is textbook outside zone play and giving a tailback a chance to find a seam. Let him stretch it until he gets comfortable, and he slips through there and then has the acceleration to get upfield. Tell you, I don't care if you're a freshman or a senior, this is how you do it.
Mark LaForce, Dan Stevenson, 6'7", 6'5". Those guys just wall off everybody, and they can't see this guy 5'11". Well, you know what? He's past them.
Ryan Grant back in the game. He runs up the middle, inside the 10. And this Michigan State defense is on
Stop
the
with the
ropes.
Well, it's not even the fourth quarter, and it's starting to happen what just happened.
I know. It's the 1-2 punch. You mix in a little Brady Quinn in the passing game, and this offense is, it's going to be interesting to watch them develop. This is still a young group in some key areas. They're just going to get better as the year goes on.
I said that if they'd have a great coaching job, with Tyrone Willingham and his staff would win 6 games.
And I said 8.
And you said 8 or 9. And I'm telling you, after seeing tonight, they're closer to you than they are to me.
I think the Purdue game in 2 weeks is the swing game.
Here is Grant up the middle. What a drive. 7 runs, 75 yards. Walker some of it, Grant the rest of it, and there's no answer on that side.
This will be the drive that we look back on as not only the score, but just the emotions of what this just did to Michigan State. You take the ball and you drive close to the length of the field and you hand it off to 2 different backs and you average, I'm going to guess, Marty will help us out, 8 or 9 yards a carry.
Marty Aronoff, our stat man, with 7 plays, 75 yards.
There you go.
That's 10, isn't it?
That's 10, my bad.
10.6, 10.7, got to help you out there, Columbus.
Not bad.
Ryan Grant takes it in for his first touchdown of the year. 1,000-yard runner in 2002. In the end zone here, the Irish go up 3 touchdowns.
Fasten your seatbelts.
It's normal. We were 1,000 miles off course. Mayday! They're looking for us in the wrong place. Where are we?
I've just been through a trauma here, okay?
We've all been through a trauma.
Did anybody say that?
If you see or hear anything, run.
Lost premieres Wednesday at 8/7 Central, only on ABC.
I'm number 14, baby. When you're Pete Rose, you're the guy who broke Ty Cobb's record.
No one's going to touch him while he's wearing the uniform. But once that day is done, it's open season.
Go!
Hope to see you later.
Hope to see you too. What's your name?
Open the door!
Who is it?
Carol. He'll get his money. I just want to make him sweat a little.
He just made the biggest mistake of his life.
Hustle, Saturday, September 25th, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, presented with limited commercial interruptions.
My wife and I wanted to do this commercial so we could share with you our satisfying experience with Phillips & Associates.
Due to an unexpected injury, we were unable to pay all of our medical bills. After seeing a Phillips & Associate commercial, we contacted them.
They immediately stopped all harassing creditor calls, answered all of our questions, and put our minds at ease.
Thank you, Phillips & Associates, for giving us a new lease on life.
Call us right now to set up your free debt evaluation. 602-258-8888.
Have you seen that new Santa they just hired?
In a season of giving,
Move along. This is not the DMV, all right?
he believes in taking.
Does your daddy have a safe?
The guy makes me uneasy.
What you saying to me?
Watch out when this Santa comes to town.
On Christmas Eve, you all gonna rob this store blind.
Exactly.
Order Bad Santa on in-demand pay-per-view. Get your comedy shopping done the easy way on digital cable.
Not in South Bend, but still can act the same way. Students who made the trip enjoy the Irish drive of 775, all on the ground. Notre Dame leads 28-7 over a demoralized Michigan State defense. DeAndre Cobb from the 15, room to run. DeAndre Cobb. See you later. Michigan State back in it. Now, while we were away for break, Tyrone Willingham, the Notre Dame coach, ran back, I assume, to the restroom. Now he comes back, and they scored a touchdown while he was gone.
Probably not real happy.
I've never seen that happen before.
I've never seen that.
I've never seen it.
Who wants to be? Who did I leave this in? Did I leave this in your hands? What happened?
Who's in charge?
All I asked you to do was cover a kickoff. I assume he went back to the restroom.
Well,
we communicate. What happened? DeAndre Cobb takes it the distance. The extra point is added. DeAndre Cobb has some magic when he gets it on his hands for kickoff returns. 2003 tied an NCAA record with 3 returns for touchdown.
It's great blocking, but it's also just speed. Once he hit the seam and got to the outside, obviously he knows, DeAndre Cobb knows what to do with it, but they set this up perfectly, Lee.
I know it's a great run and everything else, but you know why I like that guy? He's the one guy on that Michigan State team when there was an interception. He's the guy that caught the guy from behind him and caught him down and stopped the touchdown. I love that kind of attitude. He shows it right there with the kickoff return.
And here comes Coach Willingham back in his figure. He had to go to the restroom.
Did I make a recommendation?
We don't know anything.
We could find, Jill maybe could find out for us.
28-14. Michigan, this is a bizarre series, guys. The unexpected usually happens. And every time you think a game is over, of late, it has not been.
And listen to the crowd. They're back into the ball game. It's amazing.
What a special kickoff return man DeAndre Cobb is. As I mentioned, he brought 3 back last year. Former junior college star from Las Vegas. Now 4 in his Spartan career. Rayner kicks this one all the way back. Stovall takes a knee. Reese Davis watching the Gators and the Vols.
And it's a bit of a shootout right now, Mike. Eric Ainge, the freshman quarterback for Tennessee, leading the Vols on a drive. Nicely thrown ball to big tight end Justin Reed, who goes airborne to get in for Tennessee. Florida really goofed up, fielding a kickoff on its own 3, stepped out of bounds, but Chris Lee just led him on a 97-yard drive. Finds Jamal Cornelius. We're tied at 14.
Very important 97-yard drive, the way that game was flowing. Well, Michigan State's defense answered it twice, got their ball back in great field position. Michigan State did nothing with it. Notre Dame punched him in the mouth the last drive. What happens here? Darius Walker stopped. How about that last drive? 7 plays, 7 runs, 75 yards.
The crowd is now back involved in this football game, but it was very simple. It was very physical with Ryan Grant and Darius Walker, Coach. They mixed them both in and out, and they had a lot of success.
Walker ran 4 times for 45, Grant 3 times for 30. They averaged 10.7 per rush on that drive. But you know what?
It's a different defense right now after that kickoff return.
It's the same guys. But watch the enthusiasm with this crowd now. They'll play it much better.
2nd and a dozen. Quinn is pressured, put it up in the air. Nearly intercepted by Jaron Hayes. Brandon McKinney, pass rush in his face. We have a 3rd down and a loud crowd coming up.
Looks like we're in the Breslin Center right now. Is it the Izzo? Your Izzo?
Tom Izzo has a lot of the great Michigan State basketball players of the past here. Steve Smith, Lateen Cleaves, among others. Third and 12, run Walker. Stop. And the Spartans defense gives them another life.
We just said, same players, same kind of plays, different results, and it just goes to show you how important special teams are and what it can do to a football team, how it can spark and ignite a team and get them to believe.
And
it's the only way Michigan State has scored tonight.
That's it.
And you know what? It's the first time the entire night that the stands stood up. The fans stood up in the stands and cheered.
Even the alumni section got up there. That's good.
They blocked a punt in the first quarter. See if they overload on one side and try to get back to Fitzpatrick again. Kick never turned over. Trying to get off the ground and get away so it doesn't touch you. Decent field position back at the 36-yard line. So we have a flag down on that 41-yard punt. Not enough on the line for Notre Dame.
I'd make him punt it again.
I don't like the way he's kicking it.
That's right. I'd make him punt it again. And I get my receiver up there so he can make out fair catch it if nothing else.
Yeah, catch the ball.
Cost him 15 yards there.
I'd put Shabai back. He returned the last punt.
That's right.
Illegal formation offense.
Good point.
Not enough men on the line of scrimmage. Number 80, 5 yards, still 4th down.
That's the third time we've seen that. And watching a bunch of games today, I saw it another half dozen times. And Lee, you pointed out, it's a point of emphasis this year.
That's right. It's because the linemen are trying to cheat back as far as they can so they can block better to the outside. And that's what they do. They line up not on the line, not off the line, and halfway spot.
Oh, instead of a line, it's becoming like a semicircle. They're trying to form a pocket pre-snap. The offensive semicircle will start calling it.
The tackles are doing it.
All right, Kyle Brown, the return man, has cheated up a few more yards. DJ Fitzpatrick to punt it away. Return set up this time. Much better kick. Brown gets it out to the 41. They kind of get about where they were. Maurice Stovall down on special teams to make the play. Now let me go back and tell the tale here of the quarterback, Drew Stanton, because as Kirk and Lee alluded to, he would have been the starter when this season started. That's the way it was ticketed after Jeff Smoker left. Record-setting quarterback now with the St. Louis Rams. But on the 4th play of the Alamo Bowl last year, Stanton, who wanted to be on the field so bad last year, was the personal protector for special teams, busted up his knee. So he wasn't around all spring, obviously. That's why Damon Dowdell, the senior, started game 1. Ineffective Stephen Reeves to game 2. Pass to Matt Trannon. Big receiver. Dozen yards. First down. Stanton can give you some running. He's a good leader. Dowdell is a senior who just did not fit very well in this Michigan State offense. Remember, John L. Smith brought that Louisville-type spread offense, and Dowdell's skill set doesn't fit this offense as well. Stanton's knee prevented him from going all the way through the fall camp and the chance to win the job. Now maybe he's earned it back. Run for about 5.5 with J.U. Colquitt.
What's interesting about Drew Stanton is his knees are a big part of his game. He's more athletic than Reeves. The game plan is similar, yet at the same time tweaked just a little bit. You'll see more quarterback draws. You'll see the option a little bit more when he's 100% because he can get out into the open field and make people miss. So same offense, just with a little bit of a different wrinkle because of his athletic ability.
Pickup of about 4, 2nd and 6. Colquitt again, working left side to the 41-yard line. We'll have 3rd and 4 coming up. 2.5 left in the 3rd. Notre Dame leading by 14.
Now, if I was coach, I would definitely go 2 times. I would not punt the ball. If I'm anywhere close to territory, absolutely right now, because it's 28-14. I get in the 4th quarter, I'd go for it twice.
And always a reason to bring that up on 3rd down. It affects your play calling on 3rd down.
Exactly. I'd throw a nice little short pass somewhere.
Soft as those corners are.
A run with Stanton, 1st down, 35. Took a big shot, got twisted around.
And Kirk just mentioned that he's got an ability to beat you with his legs, Kirk, and that was a perfect example. Nice call that time.
They put an empty set, 5 receivers in, trying to get the Notre Dame defense spread out as far as they could. And you could just see the instincts there and how he's able to cut back, kind of use the leverage and try to use his linemen to his advantage. Look at his head. His head looked over to find where the chains were so he could stretch the ball over and get the 1st down.
The big receiver, Trannon, he's going to be up at the top of your screen. 6'6" receiver trying to get Notre Dame for the offsides on the quick snap, and they do. So we'll have 1st and 5 coming up.
You know, look at this ball game right now. I've been seeing it the rest of the time, but Matt Trannon, number 6, number 30.
Offside, defense, number 66, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
And J.U. Colquitt and Stanton, that's your football team. Sure. Those 3 guys look like a better football team than the other combinations they've been playing. Those guys look like athletes that can beat you. I'm impressed by that. That tandem's got to be 12 feet tall.
Kyle Brown. I mean, they've got some skill here. And don't forget the tight ends. And we haven't seen them involved a lot tonight, but it's also potentially a big part of this offense.
Eric Knott has not been effective yet. Colquitt first in 5 runs, spinning and turning for a couple. Well, let's see if UCLA is running for even more yards. Reese Davis in the studio.
Keep piling him up, does Maurice Drew, Mike, against Washington 27-24 game. This will be Drew's 5th touchdown. Just marvel at the run. 5 touchdowns, a school record. Unofficially 294 yards, just 7 yards away from Deshaun Foster's school record.
Yeah. Can we just close our eyes and remember when teams used to fear going to Husky Stadium?
Steve Entman.
You remember that? Remember that? Teams walk in there like it's no problem.
Second down. Throw out to Jason Teague. Try to make a few people miss and only came up with a yard or so. So as we head down to the final moments of this third quarter with USC and BYU, the #1 team in the land, to follow us, we have Notre Dame taking on a Big Ten team that they have met up with so many times over the years. 1966, these two schools played one of the most famous games, the 10-10 tie. They've had great dramatic finishes over the last few years, mostly positive for Michigan State. If the Spartans win this, it'll be a comeback they'll talk about for a long time in East Lansing. 3rd and 3, option. DeAndre Cobb brought down. We'll have 4th down and the quarter break to decide. Do you want to go for a 46-yard field goal, or do you want to go for 4th and 4? Go for it. Oh, you want to go for 4?
Yep.
You want to go for it, too?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll find out. 1 quarter to go. 14-point lead for the Irish.
Monday Night Countdown, presented by UPS, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN.
That quiet voice inside of my soul, it's rising up again. It's my life. It's my life.
Somewhere, there's a man accessing sensitive information by way of a fingerprint, while a woman keeps track of millions of dollars in inventory, safeguarding it from the warehouse to your house. And a dad checks on his business from his son's baseball game. What do all these people have in common? They rely on America's #1 security company, ADT. Always there.
Morning. Whenever you need help with your heating, wherever you need it, your Bryant dealer will get it to you.
Found your paper in the driveway.
Whatever it takes. Through November, take advantage of special deals worth up to $1,000 on a high-efficiency system from Bryant. Just call your local Bryant dealer and they'll get it to you.
GPS Gate navigation system. Automatic or ESP push-button shifting. Honda ATV technology. So advanced, it's almost like you control the trail. Get the best on earth. Now with financing as low as 6.9% fixed APR.
Well, off we go to the 4th quarter, and the decision made by John L. Smith. He brings out his kicker, Dave Rayner, who made a 53-yarder in 2002, a 52-yarder in 2003, and career is 6 of 11 from over 50 yards. This will be 45 to get the Spartans within 11. Good kick. 28-17 as Rayner connects. So Michigan State has quickly turned around this game that looked to be over about 6 minutes ago, guys, when it was 28-7 and Notre Dame had a 7-play, 75-yard all on the ground drive. Can Michigan State come back from down 11?
Oh, absolutely. With that Stanton quarterback, if he keeps throwing the football the way he is, I was wrong. I thought he should have gone for 4th down, but he made a good call. Now they've scored 10 unanswered points. That is very good for the momentum.
It's not just Drew Stanton and what they're doing offensively. It's up to this defense. 2 series ago, they got dominated. Last series, crowd got into it. They played with some emotion, 3 and out. They've got to get the crowd back into it, try to get this defense going and come up with a stop.
I'm sorry, bud.
No problem.
I'll listen to you next time.
No, it's okay.
Let's reset the importance of this game, because Notre Dame's 1-1 coming off the win over Michigan. If they can keep this going, obviously they'll be able to run the ball well against Washington. Reese keeps showing us what UCLA has been doing to Washington thus far. They've got those 3 games at home, and every win is huge for the Irish. They have no conference to bail themselves out of a couple of early season stumbles. Michigan State, on the other hand, I think it's a seesaw game. If they come out of here with a win, you could be looking at a team that could overachieve here in 2004. Maurice Stovall to bring it back, and he's brought down at the 20-yard line. Anthony Velasco with the title. Here is the Pioneer game track. The 3rd quarter story was the running drive. Grant had the 66-yard total at the end of the drive for the night, and DeAndre Cobb 3 times last year, and for the first time in 04, takes a kickoff the distance. That got Michigan State back in the game.
It's another test for Notre Dame's character on the road, trying to put a game away. Last week we saw what they could do late in the game at home against a great opponent. Now on the road, when they're trying to put the game away, how will Brady Quinn and the Irish offense fare?
Fasano, the tight end, in motion, a 1st down throw. Great catch by Jeff Samardzija. The sophomore out of Valparaiso went up and got on top of Jaron Hayes to make the 19-yard grab.
Well, Samardzija here uses the size, 6'5", 215 pounds against Jaron Hayes at 5'9". Lee, you and I talked about the receivers of Notre Dame, how tall they are going up against the smaller Michigan State corners. That time wasn't necessarily a great throw, but he adjusted, went up in the air, and made the catch.
Did you notice that slight push off with his left hand? The official didn't call it, but that was offensive pass interference.
1st and 10 from the 38. Darius Walker stood up right there by Ronald Stanley. That's the kid out of Saginaw, who's the top tackler here on this Michigan State defense. The inside rock of the defense, who John L. Smith and Chris Smealin, the defensive coordinator, had nothing but great things to say about when we visited with them earlier this week.
When every coach you talk to tells you that he's the rock of the defense, I think it's pretty obvious how important Stanley is to the Michigan State effort on that side of the ball.
It's a Michigan State defense that's a little bit dinged up. Clifford Dukes has played a lot tonight. He has been very quiet. He's one of the best defenders in Spartan Green. They run his way. Walker cuts up underneath him, but a good tackle by Jason Harmon, the free safety, who came crashing on down. We have an injured Michigan State player on the field. Kevin Vickerson has been shaken up. Vickerson, who was their most productive defensive lineman the first 2 games out of Martin Luther King High School in Detroit, went right down face first, and obviously has brought this crowd to complete silence. So they're out there looking at the 6'4" senior, described as the live wire of this defensive front.
Guys, you hope that Vickerson's okay, obviously, and you think about this defensive line. Brandon McKinney's been battling injuries. Clifford Dukes battling injuries. It's been decimated. They've been decimated by injuries, and it's been to some key players.
There he is, 91. You see him come in there, and just gets rolled up on by Mark Lavore, the senior offensive lineman for Notre Dame. All right, good to get him up, even though he can't put any pressure on that left leg that got rolled up on. You'll certainly check it out. They've already lost an offensive lineman here in the game. Jill Arrington telling us from down on the field, Stephon Wheeler, who hurt his left ankle in the first half. X-rays were negative, but Wheeler will not return. And a left leg injury now for the senior defensive tackle, Kevin Vickerson.
Notre Dame football, 3rd down, 7 yards to go.
Well, after the sobering stop with the injury, the fans try to get back behind their Spartan defense for 3rd and 7. Dortz walked in off the corner, picked up on the offensive lineman. Samardzija sitting on his bottom, caught it at midfield. 1st down.
One thing I've never quite understood, in a crucial point when it's 3rd and 7, Jaron Hayes gives about a 12-yard cushion, making it very, very easy for Notre Dame to execute and to just cut right underneath that. You got to get up at the line of scrimmage a little bit and try to get a jam instead of giving him such an easy release off the line. He just kept bailing. He was at 10, kept going back.
Quinn on the night, his 8th completion, 8 of 20 for a $143. A touchdown and an interception for the sophomore quarterback. Freshman running back Darius Walker tried to bounce it outside, but they were ready for him. Eric Smith the tackle. Reese Davis updates us on the game in the SEC.
All right, Mike, Florida and Tennessee. In Tennessee, a couple of first-time starters in the secondary, and Chris Leak has been able to take advantage, finding Andre Caldwell running by himself. Did not give him the touchdown there. Scored on the next play, 21-14 at the half gate.
All right, they're at the half. So those of you surfing over, we welcome you to East Lansing. Notre Dame up 28-17. They led 28-7. What's been going on here in the last 15 minutes, Coach?
Michigan State, kickoff return, playing good defense, kick the field goal. It's all Michigan State right now, momentum-wise.
Yeah, they're down 28-7. The kickoff return got them back in the game, and it's kind of sparked their defense to play a little bit more inspiring.
Darius Walker, the running back who had 115 against Michigan last week. He's a known quantity now. He's been the focus of the Spartan defense here tonight. We'll have 3rd down and about 7 coming up. 21 carries, 89 yards tonight for the freshman out of Lawrenceville, Georgia.
Well, Michigan State's had their chances with 3rd downs. They've got to be able to try to get some pressure on Brady Quinn. And also, remember last time with 3rd down at about 7, how soft they were with coverage? Let's see if they adjust to that and try to get people up a little bit tighter.
I love that shot you just saw. Ryan Grant was waiting for him when he came off and talking to the freshman back. Neither one in the game here.
Keep your eye, number 82, that Matt Shelton.
Travis Thomas, the back into block, overthrows the open Samardzija. Otherwise, they would have had another 1st down. So Notre Dame will have to kick it away.
Kirk, they must have a scouting report that says that those guys are twice as fast as every human being in the world because they're so far back, like you said. Nobody's that fast.
If he threw the ball there, that's another first down. Guys bailing it just 12 to 15 yards.
DJ Fitzpatrick to kick again. Kyle Brown back to receive. Fair caught at the 13. So Michigan State's put some momentum in. The backup quarterback is in. Let's see if the offense can keep it going, because if they score here, we're going to have a 1-score game. 4th quarter, Notre Dame, Michigan State.
People like Hooters for college football. People love Hooters for pro football. People love nothing more than a Saturday with the coldest beer in town. Except a Sunday with world-famous wings. People go to Hooters for Thursday nights. They go for Monday.
Hey, guys. We're the reason people come to Hooters.
Hooters is football. Get to Hooters for specials anytime football is on.
Terry, this isn't fair. Those girls win every time. Hey, haven't you noticed? They have better equipment than us.
The prospect of a dance class can fill even a battle-tested war hero with mortal terror. For all our kin with machinery, concrete, or hand tools, who dares imagine he has command of his footwork? Who dares work the ladies at the dance hall with the handsome efficiency of Fred Astaire? If you want to stay off of her feet, you want to stay light on yours. Avoid the punch. Be thankful there's a light way to live. The High Life.
So I'm wondering, what's a Thermacare heat wrap? Then I put it on my aching back and I realized, oh, it's like a heating pad without a cord. And my pain just melts away. Yes, I feel like I could do backflips. No.
Introducing the world's first coffee house that doesn't belong on the corner. It belongs on your counter. The new Home Cafe brewing system. Individual Folgers coffee pods and unique pressure brewing make a variety of freshly brewed coffee house style coffees. The new Home Cafe at a coffee house near you. Your house.
For some, recovery is a long road. For men, they reach for revitalizing lotion Q10. Because Q10 replenishes skin to feel healthy, firm, and fit. Especially when you don't. Nivea for men. More evolved skincare.
Within the world of the Big Ten, it seems like Michigan State is always in the perpetual search for respect. Over the last 7 years, they've gotten that respect in this game. They've beaten Notre Dame 6 out of the last 7 years after really being handled over the history of this series by the Irish. They were on their way to a big loss tonight. They've scored the last 10. Momentum building with Drew Stanton, the quarterback. First down, quick hit, Jeremy Scott on the run. Jeremy Scott still going. Out to the 47, and when the Spartans went down 21, they have shown heart on almost every snap since then.
When you run this screen to the flanker, the most important thing is the timing of the throw and then the blocks downfield. And Michigan State this time timed it up perfectly to get Scott into the open field. And I'll tell you, he all of a sudden just kind of burst onto the scene there with some live legs. First time he's been involved tonight.
Kyle Cook, number 74, made the key block from the left guard position.
30-yard catch by the brother of Gary Scott. Now Agim Shabai with a grab. He picks up 8 or 9 first down yards. Gary Scott was a very good Michigan State receiver in the late 90s. His brother Jeremy ended up with the recovery on the block punt in the first quarter. Got the big play there. Then Shabai gets 9. And Michigan State's offense now picking it up a little bit.
And what it doesn't show you right there is that Michigan State has had to fight through not only the points they've given up, but they've come up with some big plays on special teams.
2nd and 1. Looked like a busted play. Worked out okay. Drew Stanton keeps it and picks up the first down.
The difference in this Michigan State football team right now is Drew Stanton. He seems like, as you guys have both mentioned, to be the leader of the offense. He made a bad series when he came in, but since then, I'm telling you, he's the difference because of his confidence.
Well, it's hard to have cohesion. They've played 11 quarters, and they've played 3 different quarterbacks significant time.
Well, and it's all about, we talked about how when they broke camp, they thought if he's going to be healthy, he's their quarterback. He definitely has them with some momentum right now.
From the 45, play action. Shot down the field. Nope, going to keep it and pick up 5 yards. And Kirk, you've talked about it so often, and Coach, when you have the quarterback who can give you the running dimension, you have to start accounting for him. Boy, it makes your tight end valuable. Your back's out of the backfield, hitting a deep shot. So much more you can do.
But not only that, it's almost as if you feel, even though he's only a sophomore, the game seems to be in better hands right now. Decision-making, poise, confidence under center, and all those things affect the entire offense when they believe that they've got a guy that's making good decisions back there.
Not their good tight end is lined up in the slot. They bring 5. Stanton stands in there, completes it to Kyle Brown. The mark should be a hair shy of the first down. That's a nice mark. They're going to have the first down, I think, here, guys. Yes, they do. First down.
And the play calling by Dave Baldwin has been excellent because what the offensive coordinator has done now, he has that really good experienced Notre Dame defense off balance. They don't know where they're going to get hit. A left hook, a right jab, boom.
You're thinking about that fight tonight, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I got Hopkins.
You got Hopkins TKO, what,
10th round.
De La Hoya hurt his hand. From the 35, 1st and 10. Spartans down 11. On the move with the running quarterback, Stanton. On that bum knee. He's got another first down. Right at the 25. And a Notre Dame player shaken up.
This time he's going to, it's again, quarterback draw we talked about. You're going to see these kind of things. Great block by Teague on the blitzing linebacker that freed the quarterback. And again, when you see him run the football, it almost looks like a running back. He feels so confident. Look how he sets things up. He finds the seam and gets upfield. Yeah.
That arm out.
It's the old single wing T we always see. It's the quarterback back there playing as a running back.
Brandon Hoyt, their vocal leader, senior linebacker, number 2 tackler. He's the one injured, and that's the kind of guy you need on the field in a drive like this.
And remember one thing, they're going against the Notre Dame defense right now that averages, allowing the rushing team by opponents 1.2 per yard.
As they check, Hoyt will step out. Michigan State driving, down 11.
Where does reality end and pure vision begin? It all starts with a Pioneer plasma display. The purest color, the purest experience. Pure vision. Only from Pioneer.
One of the game's greatest players has engaged in a variety of acts which have stained the game.
Hustle, Saturday, September 25th, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
It's time for the Chrysler model year-end clearance. Pretty soon, the last of the 2004 vehicles will be gone. But until September 30th, the best selection is waiting for you. Choose from the versatile PT Cruiser, spacious Sebring sedan, or America's best-selling convertible Sebring. Plus, get our 770 powertrain limited warranty. It all ends September 30th, so get to the Chrysler model year-end clearance today. Now get $1,000 bonus cash for a combined cash allowance of up to $5,000 on select Chrysler vehicles.
Cool golf in the high country, vibrant walks on mountain trails, relaxing on the downtown square. Live full-time in Prescott or own that special place for refreshing getaways. Canavest offers gated luxury townhomes and condos at prestigious Hacienda and beautiful golf villas at Prescott Lakes. Canavest has what you really want. Prescott, just 90 miles from the valley. Call 1-800-827-1960 today.
Hoyt ran off the field under his own power, the injured player. Stanton has powered this Michigan State offense here in the second half.
And this drive alone, 3 for 3, throwing the football for 44 yards, and he's also been able to run the football 3 times for 17 yards. He has definitely provided the spark.
That last run picked up a first down, so it's 1st and 10 as we approach 8.5 remaining in regulation. Stanton on the boot. There's the tight end, Eric Knott. 6 to the 19-yard line. They're in the red zone with 2nd and 4 coming up.
And it's an interesting point here. If I'm the Michigan State offensive coordinator, I want to make sure I at least get 3 out of here. I don't want to do anything stupid because I'm going to have to get 11, 3 and 8, right?
Yep.
So I got to get at least 3 out of this drive.
The way they're moving the ball, preferably 8 on this one.
If you get it.
Team that shared the national title last year, the Southern California Trojans, are in Provo to take on BYU. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, Aaron Andrews standing by. They'll bring you that one. Also another game on ESPN2 tonight, Minnesota, Colorado State. So ESPN2 back and forth. Got you covered this Saturday night. 2nd down, J.U. Colquitt runs out of a tackle. A flag comes in for a holding as Colquitt gets out to the 10.
Boy, is that
but
guy.
this one's likely coming back.
That guy's a football player, boy.
Oh, is it against Notre Dame? Wow. Almost always you see that deep flag come in and it's holding on the offense. But it's not. Boy, things are going the Spartan way now.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, half the distance to go, automatic, first down.
Guys, when this game was 28-7, this was over. And if you weren't with us, 28-7, Tyrone Willingham ran in, went to the bathroom, I think, came back out. His team gave up a kickoff return for touchdown. You see the 15-yard face mask tacked on. Everything since Willingham left has gone the other way. Michigan State with Colquitt hits the hole, and he's down to the 1-yard line. J.U. Colquitt was born in Liberia. His father was a high-ranking official in the Liberian government, was killed during the Civil War in that West African country back in 1992. Colquitt's mom had moved to the U.S. She had divorced from their dad. She went over, got Colquitt, brought him back to the U.S. He's in the game, over the top, puffed it up. Notre Dame has picked it up. It's a touchback. It's Notre Dame football.
It's just like a guy throwing a no-hitter, Mike.
As soon as you mention it. Now remember, guys, there's a conversation going on first off. Second, the play could be reviewed. We have instant replay in the Big Ten. 5 turnovers tonight. Ball clearly out. And they have said what the ruling on the field is, and it clearly was out.
Corey Mays might have just won the football game for the Fighting Irish.
The 5th Michigan State turnover tonight.
5 turnovers. Michigan State driving for not only a touchdown that's going to get them possibly within 1 possession with a field goal, but just everything. And this kind of sums up what's happened in 3 games for John L. Smith and also for Notre Dame in these last 2 weeks.
That was a legitimate stick.
That was a big hit.
I mean, that was a major league
I'm
hit.
not doubting, when they get turnovers, they create them, but it's just the timing of these turnovers.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Every single game.
Nothing's as amazing as 2 years ago. They opened 8-0, but
set a world record that year.
And the touchback, so they get the ball at the 20 and bring it out with Travis Thomas, the running back who's only carried a half dozen times. Once again, for those of you who haven't seen a game with replay, that play is reviewable.
Exactly.
If they see anything to question it. But as the officials were discussing it, making a call on the field, they saw on the replay it was clearly out. The angles were perfect. Great job in the truck guys. And if they see, hey, the call on the field was right, they don't have to worry about messing around with replay.
Nope. Good call.
Wait, I'm going to say on replay before the year's over.
I love it.
I think it's going to work. You're the one who said it could save the national championship.
He just doesn't like it because, as a coach, being on the field, not being able to get a hold of the guy.
Exactly. I would like a little bit more control over my life than some guy hiding up in the booth that I can't say hello to or say bad things to him if I want to.
Did you used to say bad things?
Absolutely.
Did you
whisper?
Really?
Whisper nice things to
You
him.
don't come across as a guy like that.
I
think as a fan, you got to love it. You got to love it because it's going to correct the mistakes.
Against Wisconsin, they took 5 minutes.
That was one first week.
Well, I
The
just
memo went out. I had one in Columbus last Saturday.
They tightened it up.
It was tightened up.
Yeah.
No
It's
problem.
trial and error. It's going to be fine.
3rd and 5. Michigan State's defense could give the offense one more burst of oxygen here. Brady Quinn, quick shot to Samardzija again, who has been open on every 3rd down pass play here in the 4th quarter.
Well, game's on the line here, and the corners are still of Michigan State playing soft. And that time, Bill Diedrich decided, you know what, we're going to take advantage of this cushion. If they're going to basically give us a first down, let's drop back 3 steps and throw the quick hitch. That's pitch and catch. I mean, that's a throw you make in practice 1,000 times. First down, move the sticks, kill another couple minutes off the clock.
From the 31, Travis Thomas. Interesting that he's become the featured back here with Grant and Walker running it so well throughout this second half.
Right now, the Notre Dame team is not playing against Michigan State as much as they're playing against the clock. That's their ally. It's tick, 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 5:24. If it goes the way I think it'll go, even if they don't score and they take enough time out, there will not be enough time for Michigan State to get 2 scores and beat them.
Notre Dame's had some success running the football tonight and stuck with that. Also has to do with they've had the lead for most of this game and they're trying to kill that clock that Lee's talking about.
Roderick Maples blitzed off the corner for Michigan State. Thomas out of Washington, Pennsylvania, got to the 25. The ball came out after the running back was down.
I want to say something about Ty Willingham and his staff. They must have a lot
of confidence.
I want to say one more time, confidence in Travis Thomas, because I'll tell you, the game's on the line. They got Ryan Grant and Darius Walker on the sideline. Now you tell me. Huh?
I just thought you were stuck there. But
no.
It was a 4 a lot.
It was 4 lots. And I want to see, what do you think? Do you call that quick hitch again against the sophomore?
No. This time you run it because what you want to do is run the clock. You don't want an incomplete pass because it stops the clock. Run it, Notre Dame. Run it.
Samardzija is at the top of your screen. He's got the cushion. They look that way. They fake it. And down the middle for the big hitter, Shelton. To the 29-yard line. First down. They picked up 35 yards.
Matt Shelton, tackled by Jason Hunter.
Well, I thought he might go to the outside again, but he actually has a pump fake and go to the inside. And what the heck, it's been working. Matt Shelton's made big plays. He did initially go to the outside, but then when he realized the safety cheated up, good adjustment and recognition by Brady Quinn. His eyes go to the outside. Then he saw Shelton break free, the safety come up, and he made the good throw.
That's a
Shelton,
good call.
It's
a wonderful call by Bill Dietrich.
It is.
A questionable call.
Questionable.
Yes, because if he'd have dropped that ball, the clock would have stopped.
I like the call.
I know. You liked it because the guy caught it.
Fumble the football.
I say nothing.
Who gets there? The Spartans had it for a second, but it did come out. It's going to be a bottom of the pile one. Green ball. Michigan State as Travis Thomas fumbles after Ronald Stanley knocked it away.
I will ask Tyrone Willingham one question. Why did you have Travis Thomas in the ball game in the fourth quarter with Ryan Grant and Darius Walker sitting on the sideline? And did I say before?
Yeah,
you did. First guess.
I think there are a lot of people probably wondering why number 3 or number 4 weren't out there.
I know I was wondering, so that's why I said it.
Yeah.
Hey, Stanley's the guy we talked about, how he's the leader. He's a great kid. He's one of the defensive coordinators said, you'd love him if your son was just like him. Boy, did he make a stick there.
Sure did.
Man, he knocked the ball free. This is the last dance for Michigan State.
See Stanton looking over, all the receivers looking over, getting the signal. It's not just the quarterback. The receivers are looking for that call as well.
First down run with the quarterback into the open space. This is so effective against 5 wide receivers. The ball came out again. How about a half dozen Michigan State turnovers? Notre Dame gets it again.
You know that trend last 2 years ago that they had where their turnover margin was, I'm assuming it led the nation. They're on track for that again. It's a great call. Mike, you said 5 receivers, spread everybody all over the place and let one of your more talented men run the football. But he didn't hold on to it.
Well, I'm looking out there, and I hope one of my friends, either number 3 or number 4 is in there. Want to bet a nickel?
Stanton was not down, by the way. This game has been very, very well officiated tonight.
Darius Walker is now the tailback.
Nice look at it, guys. Scott Johnson, our director. Bill
We're sitting here in slow motion watching this. There have been 2 or 3 where their knees come within an inch or 2, and the ball came out just before that. They've done a great job tonight with the officiating.
I got to see this crew last week, and they were great as well in that game. Very good Big Ten officiating crew. Walker runs to the 40. Let me remind you that Notre Dame's great rivals, Michigan, Michigan State, and of course Southern California. You'll get a chance, Irish fans, to measure the Trojans when they take on BYU out in Provo coming up here in a moment. But a penalty marker thrown after the play. One of the Michigan State defensive linemen was caught up around the Notre Dame offensive lineman, and a dead ball foul will be assessed here.
This Michigan State team, you know, they fought hard, down 28-7, made a game of this. Now they've got to try to put this game behind them. It's conference play starting next Saturday, and I think their quarterback for the future of this season is Drew Stanton. Providing he's healthy, you put Stanton in there with this offense, and that's an interesting team, different team.
Unnecessary roughness fouls on both teams. Those will offset.
Another point now, they go to Indiana next week. Indiana beat a really good Oregon team, and Eugene, but they were getting clobbered tonight in Lexington by Kentucky, who hadn't scored a point against Louisville. I'm telling you, Michigan State's got a chance to beat Indiana.
Guys, Darius Walker, 95 yards tonight after 115. Might have a chance for back-to-back 100-yard games. His first 2 games playing for the Fighting Irish. You know, he didn't play in that first game against BYU because Tyrone Willingham wasn't comfortable with his ability to handle the full package of plays. But boy, has he found somebody special in the backfield, not just for this season, but beyond for Irish fans, I think.
And the tandem, Mike, having Darius Walker and Ryan Grant, that 1-2 punch. The quarterback, Brady Quinn's going to continue to grow. Lee, you touched on it. His best friend now, those 2 backs battling out to try to get on the field. There's some receivers. I mean, Shelton tonight's come out of nowhere to go along with Stovall and McKnight. They've got some skill on this team.
This is second down. The officials just want to make sure they have the down and the spot correct. 2nd and 4. And Walker is stopped there. Michigan State's going to take their timeouts, I would imagine. And they do here with 2:36 to go. Julius Jones now plying his trade for Bill Parcells with the Dallas Cowboys in the NFL. He gave that Notre Dame offense that little kick that it needed. Darius Walker could be following in those footsteps. Spartan timeout, 3rd down coming up. Remember, USC, #1 in the nation, coming up next.
Pay attention! This week on Sunday NFL Countdown, the Colts' Big 3 pregame workout, plus Donovan's new best friend, the hardest working pregame show in football.
A well-oiled machine. Those are my boys.
Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Michael Jordan returns for a special one-on-one basketball spectacular.
All right, let's play.
There's only one hitch.
You can't get by that.
He's playing Damon Wayans. My Wife and Kids 1-hour premiere Tuesday, 8/7 Central, only on ABC.
Stronger denim. More comfortable, relaxed fit. Wrangler 5-star premium quality denim. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans.
The Sharp Aquas Liquid Crystal Television. Suddenly, there's more to see.
They set up in the eye on this, the last play of the game. And here's the snap. Hand off to the tailback. Peterson tries the right side. Wow, what a hit. But he stays on his feet, and he's broken to the outside, and it's wide open. Touchdown. Give him a touchdown.
The itching and burning of athlete's foot. This is the latest way to get rid of it. This isn't. Lotrimin Ultra, the latest prescription strength medicine available without a prescription. So powerful, 1 use a day is all you need. Lotrimin Ultra.
ESPN's College Football Saturday Primetime. Brought to you by Pioneer Plasma Displays. Taking high-definition television to a whole new level.
It's been 6 of the last 7 years that Notre Dame has lost the Megaphone Trophy, which they play for in this series. The Detroit Alumni Club of both Michigan State and Notre Dame got together to come up with that award. USC BYU comes your way shortly from Provo. See if BYU gets its quarterback back. John Beck's supposed to be in the lineup. Remember, that game was pretty close last year.
Yes, it was. And the Coliseum.
Yep, in Southern California. Quinn to throw. Samardzija has had a great second half. Penalty marker down as well, as the sophomore from Valparaiso brought it down.
Now I know why Michigan State's been giving a 10-yard cushion on 3rd down. That time they walked up close. And Brady Quinn said, finally, that's what I wanted all along. And they went right by him.
Pass interference defense, number 31. Penalties decline. Play results, first down.
You know, I want to say something about Brady Quinn. You know, he started out the second half 0 for 6.
Right.
And since then, he's hit 5 of the last 6 passes with 3, now 4 key 1st and 10s. Very, very efficient performance by Brady Quinn in the second half of this win.
31-yard pass play there. I would say that it's one of the highest profile positions in the sport, the Notre Dame quarterback. Just think Ron Paulus, Rick Meyer, all that they had to carry, go back all the way through history, back beyond Theismann and everybody else. He is a relatively anonymous Notre Dame quarterback. But I think as the season goes on, we'll get to know him better.
Yes.
Walker the carry with a yard or so there. Difference in the game tonight, taking care of the ball, and Sparty did not.
And that's the thing we talked about early in the game. Would Michigan State protect the football? With a redshirt freshman and Stephen Reeves back there, Michigan State has turned the football over 6 times. 2 of them have turned into direct touchdowns for Notre Dame. In fact, once Michigan State looked like they were getting back in the game, maybe within 1 possession, they fumbled inside the 1-yard line.
And John L. Smith's team turned it over 18 times all of last year with a veteran, experienced quarterback in Jeff Smoker. In 3 games this year, not just the quarterback's fault, but they've turned it over 9 times in 3 games. It's a very young team. This is a big rebuild project for Michigan State. Walker spins for a couple of yards there, and as Michigan State tries to do this rebuild, and they take the time out here, John L. Smith has so many things that he has to get done with this team, starting with numbers. He's got to get the numbers back up. They're way down scholarship-wise. USC, BYU coming up here momentarily. We'll step out before the 3rd down for Notre Dame, up 11 with 1:09 to go.
It's times like this, you're really glad you have a State Farm agent. And State Farm's National Catastrophe Team, there at your side. Uniquely trained professionals who are on the scene, often in less than 24 hours. Working with our agents and local personnel to keep our good neighbor promise. Providing the best service under the worst of conditions. Spending weeks, even months away from their own homes, all just to get you back in yours.
I've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow.
If everything in life has a signature something, consider this, Visa's Signature Card. The Visa Signature Card can get you into America's hottest restaurants by holding tables for signature card holders. And with remarkable purchasing power accepted millions more places worldwide than American Express, it might not put the world on a string, but it can put it on a card. Visa Signature.
This is our house. Everything you have trained for your entire life has prepared you for this moment. It's us versus them. All I want to talk about is how big they are, and that this is the year they knock us off. Well, when they come in here, they got to play our game in our house, and nobody beats us in our house. We must protect this house.
One of the long faces of the Spartan fans tell you what the scoreboard says, 28-17. Send you off to Lavelle Edwards Stadium in Provo here in a couple of moments. Ron, Mike, and Aaron standing by for our back end of the college football primetime Saturday night doubleheader. USC taking on BYU. Notre Dame 3rd and goal. Darius Walker, stay in bounds, Darius. He did not, and we'll have 4th down coming up over there at the 5-yard line. You know, guys, we were talking about John L. Smith and what he has to do and the rebuilding that you have to do numbers-wise at Michigan State. And tonight would have been such a big win over Tyrone Willingham, the Michigan State alum. But this week has been a gratifying week for John L. and his wife, Diana Smith. It hasn't been out publicly, and John L. and Diana kind of kept it quiet, understandably so. She was diagnosed this past summer with cancer, and there was deep concern about the severity of it and what would happen in the future with Diana. However, they found out this week with a 2nd diagnosis as Notre Dame comes on for a field goal here that makes it 31-17. They found out that the cancer is treatable, and that was not the information they had earlier on. Diana has kind of kept going through it all, not let anybody around her and the entire situation bring her down. And while it's a loss in a week-to-week situation with a football team, what a week it's been for John L. and his wife Diana to find out that there is hope for what she has, and there's a chance to treat it. And hopefully John L. and Diana together will be here for quite some time building this Michigan State football program to add to this man's great football legacy. And our continued prayers with 2 very, very nice people. John L.'s wife of 34 years. He said, I don't know how anybody makes it 34 days around me, let alone 34 years.
You can imagine the emotions of John L. Smith when a year ago his wife is, over the summer, his wife is told that she may have a year to live. And all of a sudden this week, Tuesday, the doctors come back and say, you know what? this is going to be curable. We're going to win this battle. And we talked to people who know her personally, and even when they told her it didn't look like it was going to be something that she could win, she always talked about it doesn't matter. I'm going to beat this. I'm going to win. And then to find out that news on Tuesday for John L. Smith and his wife, I can only imagine.
That positive attitude is obviously John L. Smith.
Absolutely, that's his wife.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why they've been together so long and they know each other well. But that attitude is now a team with them.
Kind of puts things in perspective of what Michigan State's trying to do.
That's right.
What life's all about.
This kickoff return brought out to the 37-yard line. You know, the irony of it, guys, and you talk about rivalries in football and who doesn't get along with who and all that stuff. It was at the University of Michigan Cancer Center in Ann Arbor where they had a second opinion and found out the news. And so somewhere in there, and those people, I know them down in Ann Arbor, they are wonderful and very talented research doctors and just one of the world's leaders in research hospitals. And it's nice that a Sparty gets some good news from Ann Arbor every once in a while. These two schools separated by 63 miles, longtime rivals. We're so happy for John L. and his wife, and our continued prayers with them as well. Trannon, the catch, gets it down to the 45. Guys, give me a thought. We're going to send it right out to Provo, USC, BYU. What do you see happening in that game?
I think it's going to be close. It was close a year ago. I think that BYU's defense, again, remember USC's very young at receiver. Matt Leinart, Norm Chow. You have Reggie Bush, Lindale White, a lot of great players on that team, but still they're growing as a group at receiver. I wouldn't be shocked to see BYU's defense in the home crowd give them some fits.
Of course, Notre Dame will see Southern California at the Coliseum November 27th. And our Russell Athletic players of the game from Notre Dame. Let's give it to the combo of backs.
Sounds
Grant
good.
and Walker together, 164 yards on 37 carries. Really, when the game tone needed to be set, the senior and the freshman got the job done, our Russell Athletic players of the game.
I think you'll see one of the best football teams in the nation if you watch USC. And I know it'll be late. They'll score late, but they're going to score a lot of points, and they're going to beat that BYU every way and turn it every way but loose. That's one of the best football teams in the nation now with Oklahoma. No question. Leinart, Bush.
And, you know,
Norm Chow didn't get that job, right?
Right, at the BYU job.
Send a message tonight?
Norm Chow's now the offensive coordinator at Southern California.
He'll send a message.
Scott caught the last one. They stop it here. Second down, half-minute left.
And I think as Dwayne Jarrett, who's a true freshman with that USC receivers, Steve Smith really came on, kind of the go-to guy now, Chris McFoy. There's a group of them that are starting to develop and grow. And as they mature, that's when I think Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, and Lindale White become a complete dominating offense the way they were a year ago with Mike Williams and Kerry Colbert.
Michigan State down 14. Got to take a shot at the end zone, hope to get a score. Somehow come up with an onside kick and just keep one more brief moment of hope alive. Caught by Scott. Should have handed it to his fellow receiver. He stopped at the 4 with 21 seconds left. He had Kyle Brown right behind him. Stop the clock here. Just down it.
Yes. Stop it so you can get a better play in. Now you can get a play in.
18 seconds, couple of seconds quickly ticked off the clock there. Drew Stanton has shown that he is going to be the quarterback here. I think we all think. And get a score here and take your chances with an onside kick and a silly play. Stranger, I don't want to say stranger things have happened. It would be among the strange things that have happened.
That number 6, Matt Trannon.
Trannon, yep.
6'12", throw it up in the corner.
6'12".
No, the other way.
Well, Stanton comes to Eric Knott, the tight end, and the pass is incomplete. 14 to go.
The thing that you hate to see is when a team goes to that infamous prevent defense, and there's no pressure on a quarterback. It's just little backyard football. Drop it here, drop it there, drop it there. Next thing you know, you're down into the red zone, and you're a play away from scoring and seeing if you can recover an onside kick.
Game just kicked off in Provo, so we'll get you out to Ron, Mike, and Aaron as soon as we have these 14 seconds done. Well, they decide to run with Stanton. He scores, and we'll have an extra point and an onside kick. And if Michigan State recovers, they'll have one snap to make a miracle happen.
One thing I would be concerned about, in all seriousness, if I'm a Notre Dame fan, is learning as a team to finish the deal, because when they were up 28-7, and they're going to win this game, I mean, unless something crazy happens here, they're going to win this game. But 28-7, you allowed your opponent, when you had them down, the knockout punches right there, the big kickoff return, which is at that point the only way Michigan State was going to score. They gave them the big kickoff return, gave Michigan State life, and I'm sure that's what Tyrone Willingham's going to take back to South Bend. It's when we're up, let's learn to close the deal.
Rainer's extra point, onside kick coming up. Let's get you a flavor of what's going on in Provo. Mentioned Ron, Mike, and Aaron are calling USC BYU just underway. And Ron, let's give us a peek of what's going on out there.
Number 1 USC against Brigham Young University from Lavelle Edwards Stadium in Provo. Second down, loss of 1 in the last play, and they go from a shotgun formation. Tahi, the tailback, takes it right up the middle. Lofa Tutupu, the middle linebacker for Southern California, is there to make the stop.
Ron, this is not a good running football team, BYU. They have 62 rushes, 63 yards. That's not good. And they're up against the best defense in the country, the best defensive front. So they have to find a way to run the ball.
Third down, they need to take it out to the 35-yard line to keep this opening drive going. And again, Beck lines up in a shotgun. Heavy pressure coming up the middle, gets away, dumps it off to Tahi, the tailback, and he will be short of the first down on a really nice open field tackle by Bing. And let's go back to Mike Tirico in East Lansing. Mike?
Okay, Ron, we'll be back to you guys in a few minutes. Here comes the onside kick try. Michigan State has to recover it and then hit a home run. Rainer got the bounce. The hit was made, but Notre Dame came down with it. Raymond McKnight, the wide receiver, went up to get it, and the Irish will take care of business here. So Notre Dame will face Washington next week with back-to-back wins over Michigan and Michigan State. We mentioned Michigan State gets Indiana next, and Big Ten fans, remember Minnesota's just scored. They're playing Colorado State on ESPN2.
I still think this Notre Dame team is a possibility of getting to 8 wins. Next week, they shouldn't have a problem with Washington. The following week, I think, is the game that'll tell you what kind of year they're going to have, playing Kyle Wharton and the Purdue Boilermakers in South Bend. If they can win that, they still get Tennessee and USC, so they could still get to 8 wins.
One thing they did do is they won a game on the road against a hostile environment situation, which will help them at Tennessee and at USC later in the season when they need those 2 wins for a major bowl game.
See you Thursday night in Houston when we go see the Miami Hurricanes take on Houston. Great to be with the Saturday night crew. Our final score, Notre Dame 31, Michigan State 24. See you on ESPN News for the post-game extra in a bit.